Good afternoon and welcome to KUMBTV's Eyes Up Mother Brown. We are here for this afternoon's encounter between West Ham United and Crystal Palace as the Hammers look to stretch their run of wins to 3 in a row, having already beaten Newcastle United and Leicester City. There are two of us joining you live on the stream this afternoon, which you may be thinking that's a bit odd because I can see three of you. Well, that's because our Gnome is joining us live from the London Stadium for the pre-match build-up. We are just going to bring you the teams quickly, but Gnome, let's just get Gnome on very quickly because we're a few minutes away from kickoff. Gnome, how's it looking there? Is it the stadium full up today? Quite easy to get into the ground?
It was easier to get into the ground today than it was the other night.
Yeah.
Not full yet, but it's I'd say it's the usual sort of whenever you get to play those sort of games. So yeah, we've got people outside milling around, but it's not a million times.
Okay, I'm having a little bit of trouble hearing you because our friends in the background seem to be enjoying themselves a little bit, and they're coming for a little bit louder than that. There they are. Look, more happy Hammers from the London Stadium. There you go. What are we predicting this afternoon? No, do we fancy another win?
On paper, yeah. That little thing by the back is, but just when things are always looking brilliant, something stupid happens. But ignoring that, all things being equal, that team that they've got out again unchanged now for 3 games, which is underlines the point about strength and depth, I suppose. But the way they're playing at the moment, and Palace not by a goal, I'm comfortable win, but probably down 3-1.
3-1 says no. I think Palace is still the only team DL in the entire professional divisions yet to score a goal, aren't they? If I'm right.
Arsenal as well.
Oh, have Arsenal still not scored
in the league? No, I don't think they have. I know they've scored in the Carabao Cup, but not in the league.
They did, didn't they? Yeah.
Well, yeah, you know what that means, don't you? It depends on how much the West Ham way's changed, doesn't it? We're facing a team bottom of the table, haven't scored a goal, no points.
Yeah.
And then West Ham rock up. So
yeah. Yeah. Well, we're going to go for the teams.
I'll take my way now.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll see you at half time. Hopefully, no more. If anything controversial happens before, and you want to jump on and join us, feel free before that. But until then, enjoy the game, mate, and we'll see you very soon. There's Gnome live from the London Stadium this afternoon. Joining us, we've also got Rio and the Pink Palermo there, who will hopefully be jumping on the stream at some point. Yeah, we're supposed we better go through the team, shouldn't we? Really, as we're hitting kickoff.
Indeed, yes. Should we start with the visitors?
Why not?
With the visitors today, we've got Guita in goal. Wald, can't pronounce that one. Guerri or something or other. Anderson, Mitchell, former Hammer, Kuyate, MacArthur, Gallagher, Ayew, Benteke and Zaha. And on the bench, they have Butland, former Hammer, Tompkins, Kelly, Hanam, Riderwald, and I've just clicked on the link and it's closed it. Schlupp, I can't see. I really need to get my eyes done here.
This one's going well.
Raksaki, Street, and Mateta. Yeah, that weren't the best, was it? Really, but the writing was very small on those subs.
It is. Yeah, you have my sympathy with that, having looked at that. What about West Ham? How are we lining up? As if
and in West Ham, we've got Fabianski in goal, and at the back we've got Kufal, Dawson, Ogbonna, Cresswell, and Rice. Cresswell even in midfield. Rice, Souček, Bowen, Fornals, and up front we have Ben Rama and Antonio. On the bench, Areola, Fredericks, Johnson, Baptiste, Diop, Noble, Coventry, Lanzini, and Yarmolenko.
We seem to be saying the same every week, but no real surprises in that starting 11 today.
No surprises at all. Why change a winning team? We've remained unchanged for the previous games of the season, so let's hope we can get unchanged results as well. I've got the jitters about this one, to be honest, maybe because I can't stand Palace. because of working in Bromley and Plumstead, there are a lot of Palace fans there, and one of them I've got a particular dislike for.
Okay.
So
do they know that already, or is that a revelation? Are they?
Oh
they
no,
aware
no,
of
I think they're aware.
well, they are now.
Yeah, they are now. Though there's so many of them, it could be one of a few. So
Right.
if
Okay.
they are watching, which then if the cap fits, wear it.
Well, there you go. If you're joining us on the live stream, hello to you. If you're not at the stadium this afternoon, you're catching the game with us. We will, of course, be bringing you alternative live commentary as much as we possibly can throughout the game. Palace are just coming out onto the field now, amongst the bubbles from the famous bubble machine. But let us know what you think. Craven Moorhead going for a Palace 1-0 win. What's wrong with you, man? I presume you're male. Actually, I'm making a presumptuous call there, but Craven going for a 1-0 Palace win. Wouldn't be that surprising, I suppose, DL, given our recent record at home against this lot. I mean, last year, 1-1 draw. We sort of struggled a bit, didn't we? Lost 2-1 at home, the season before that. Managed to win before that in December 2018, beaten 3-2, but held 1-0 before that. So only one win in 4 against Palace. It's not been a very good fixture for us in recent seasons.
No, it's not, but it used to be. So hopefully we can put that to bed now, and and the form book prevails. One thing I will point out: you don't have to leave us to watch the F1 qualifying. I do have it on here, so stay with us, and I'll give you updates every now and again through the stream. You don't want to watch that. This is more important.
There you go. For those of you who haven't seen the earlier result, Arsenal played at Manchester City earlier in the day, talking about other sports, other games. Arsenal absolutely humiliated almost. They were smashed 5-0. Could have been 10. Such was City's dominance. Arsenal spent the second half playing with only 10 men. I think it was Xhaka who was sent off towards the end of the first half. Did you catch any of that game, DL, this morning?
I didn't. No, I was watching free practice in F1 and the F1 show. So my interest in F1 outweighs my interest in football, to be honest. The side West Ham. So
yeah. Well, it was. I can tell you, it was completely one-sided. I mean, City were all over Arsenal. Arsenal looked like a team, dare I say it, heading for relegation. But of course, it's early days yet. But I think they're bottom. They must be bottom of the league now, mustn't they? No points from 3 games.
They are. Yes, I did notice that. I do have some Arsenal fans on my Facebook, and they were doing what we were doing last week, oddly enough, and they were posting the league table. For the life of me, I can't think why. And yes, they played 3, won none, drawn none, lost 3, with a goal difference of -9. So it couldn't happen, could it? No, it would be great.
Never know.
It would be great, wouldn't it?
Stranger things have definitely. I mean, I'm talking about other sports. I was watching the cricket today. Thoroughly enjoying watching England thump India, winning by an innings and 100 or so runs. Great stuff. But anyway, enough of us. Oh, Polaroid! Look, Polaroid in live chat is saying, "DL, please don't do the qualifying stuff. I'm recording it." So I don't know how we're going to get over that one. I guess Polaroid, you're going to have to mute. Perhaps DL can give you a warning like they do on the news that anyone who doesn't want to hear the results, switch over or mute your screen now, perhaps. But we'll see how that one goes. David O'Rourke, hi David, good to see you on the stream. It's 3-1 to us after a less than inspiring first half. Gnome also going for 3-1. DL, should we offer our predictions for this one? Do you want to go first?
I think it is going to be a KG 2-1. I don't think it's going to be as convincing as the last 2. I wouldn't be surprised to see Palace go ahead either.
Yeah, I'm kind of in agreement with you that we know what West Ham are like when we sort of go on a decent run historically. But I mean, it's difficult to see us keeping a clean sheet, isn't it, this afternoon? We've struggled defensively, and I think Palace are likely to get that first goal this afternoon. So I'm going to go with you. I'm going to go with a 2-1 West Ham win. I think we've always the thing about this West Ham team is there's goals in that side, and as long as everyone out there can stay fit, then it's difficult to see Palace also maintaining a clean sheet. So yeah, I'm kind of thinking we're both going for 2-1. So there you go, three wins. Craven going for a 1-0 Palace win. Spencer Neal going for a 3-0 win. Spencer Neal, how you doing, Spence? Wrapped up by 75 minutes. Polaroid going for a 2-0 West Ham win. Hobo says all this confidence makes me nervous. We're not used to it as West Ham fans, are we? The game's just underway on my stream. Dio, how you looking on yours?
They're taking the knee at the moment.
Okay, so it
he's
looks
put a few pounds on, hasn't he, Vieira?
Who's that? Vieira. I noticed that the other day actually when I was doing some media stuff for KUMB and managed to look at some pictures. And yeah, he's definitely put on a bit of timber, hasn't he?
He has. He has. Not that we're timberist on this channel. It was just an observation.
Yeah. Nor indeed in any position to cast shadows or shade at anyone else, really. Nor the chins on show here. But,
yes, more chins in Chinatown, as they say. Yes,
indeed. We're underway anyway. West Ham have just had the first attack of the half down the right-hand side. Now, this is interesting because Palace have just taken a goal kick and they've played it very, very short and they're playing it out around their box. Now, I was on Holmesdale now, which is a Palace site, which DL is actually keeping an eye on for us this afternoon to gauge the view of the opposition fans.
I'll best get that up.
I sent you the link earlier. Hopefully at some point we can get a look at that anyway. But they were actually talking about how Palace haven't got the players to play that way, and they were kind of quite scathing of Vieira's decision to make them play that way. So hopefully, that'll be productive for West Ham rather than the other way round today. But are you a fan, DL, of teams doing that now? You know, we used to see goal kicks, goalkeeper whack it upfield, Phil Parks bang it 80 yards into the opposition half. Now you're getting these little 5-yard balls where they're playing it to fullbacks, and you've seen mistakes, haven't you? Come from these.
If you've got the players to do it, it's an effective way to play football. If you haven't got the players to do it, then it could be suicide. I think it's sort of thing we sometimes did with Bilic, wasn't it? And I'm sure, if my memory serves me correctly, there was a few times we saw our players getting mugged and the opposition score. So I think the same with what's his face as well, whose name is Pellegrini.
Yeah,
he used to do that as well. Mm-hmm. And as much as we made these expensive signings, our players just weren't good enough to do it. So I see where they're coming from. Is this the match thread I'm on that? Yes, it is.
Is that Holmesdale? Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Good stuff. Well, we'll come back to that in just a minute.
There's only about 5 posts on there.
I did. There is another Palace forum, CPBS, I think it's called, which is probably busier. But we'll see how it goes anyway. Perhaps they're all at the game, cheering a rather rotund Patrick Vieira and his team on.
Indeed.
But we're just coming up to 3 minutes into the game. Nothing's really happened yet. Hence why we're talking about everything else but the game. Jeff, good to see you on the stream. 3-0 for Jeff Hathaway. Predicting a West Ham win this afternoon. Cultures Mason asking, how do I watch the game? Mr. Mason, go onto the KUMB.com forum and look for the live streaming thread. All will be revealed. There should be plenty of streams there provided by our friend Wembley 1966. 3 minutes gone. West Ham United 0, Crystal Palace 0. It's still pretty even so far, DL, from what we've seen. Nothing really of note. Palace looking to profit down the left. Now, this is an interesting one. We see this an awful lot. Teams looking to attack West Ham down the left-hand side. And, I don't know how you feel about it, but to me, Vladimir Soufal is one of the best right-backs in the division at the moment. So I find that quite an interesting policy.
Maybe they're thinking along the lines of he's just a good Thomas Repka and that he'll lose his head. But he very rarely gets booked, does he? So, no, I can't fathom why they target him. I just don't get it because he's too good.
Yeah, totally agree.
Let them carry on. We know about the weaknesses on our left-hand sides. If their managers don't, then that's on them, isn't it?
That's an interesting. I mean, we're talking about Cresswell. I mean, it's one of those players that divides opinion, isn't he? But there was a story we posted on KUMB.com's homepage in the week that showed that Cresswell's got the best rating of any English left back in the division so far. We're only 2 games into the season. Of course, there's an awful lot of foreign left backs playing in the division, but we've seen a decent start from Cresswell. I think he gets a bit of a run deal from our fans. Do you agree
I think
with that?
he does. Yeah, I'm in agreement. I think he does. He's one of those. He's a good pro. He's one of those players that just gets on with it. Yeah, he is prone to the odd mistake, but again, I always say that even the top players are prone to mistakes. If there was a perfect left back that didn't make mistakes, he'd be playing. I would say he'd be playing for a team top of the league, but can't say that now. Well, he's perfectly adequate for us. He's a loyal servant. He's never moaned up or anything, and he gets the job done. And more importantly, what you need in the modern game, he contributes to the goals as well, albeit not as a scorer, but as an assister.
West Ham have just had their first corner of the game. It's taken by Jarrod Bowen into the near post, where it was instantly headed out. No West Ham players running to the near post. Obviously, a bit of a miscommunication there. Palace breaking on the left with Zaha and Ayew, but the ball's been. I'm just looking to see what's happened. Dawson's kind of ducked in at waist height to head the ball, and Ayew, who's put his foot up to win the ball's been penalised for dangerous play, which seems a little bit unfair given how low Dawson's head was at the time. So West Ham have a free kick just inside Palace's half. We're 5 minutes 30 seconds in. Jemsy asking, how can you watch, or what can you watch the game on? As I just said, Jemsy to Mr. Mason, who was asking previously, or Miss Mason. If you go to the KUMB.com general discussion forum, you will see a thread entitled something like live streams 2021-22 season, and in there you shall find suitable streams for you on which to watch the game. Not that we're advocating you doing that, because that is quite clearly illegal, and we wouldn't do such a thing, of course. But if you
stick your fingers in your ears, I'm going to speak in 3, 2, 1. And watching on the qualifying, Lando Norris has just had an absolutely massive shunt going through Eau Rouge in qualifying. He seems to be okay, but the car is an absolute mess, which is a shame, really, because he was also top of the standings. So, yeah, that's his session over. But he appears to be okay. But yeah, the car has lost all 4 wheels. The engine looks as though it's been ripped out as well. So yeah, that was a big off. Session stopped.
There you go. You can watch again now, Palermo. Back at the London Stadium, West Ham have their second corner of the game. It's come off. Michail Antonio attempted to centre a ball for the right hand flank, which was deflected out for a corner. So the big guns going up. Souček and Dawson heading towards the 6-yard box. Jarrod Bowen places the ball just outside the D, as players are wont to do. Looks up and pounds up his right hand, delivers a free kick. It's to the front post again, where it's headed on by, looks like Ogbonna. It hasn't come to nothing. Palace are able to break with Jordan Ayew once again, as West Ham scurry back in numbers, which they do, and concede a free kick. And Zaha once again putting his hands up. That's the second time he's done it today, complaining to the referee about how unjustly he's been treated by these dreadful West Ham players. But you're a fan of Zaha, DLs. What do you make of him? Think he could go on to big and better things?
He's a good player without a shadow of a doubt. He's he's throwing his own mold, mind you. To be fair, seeing the replay on that, I think he had a good case there. He did. I'm not going to be too harsh on him, but no, he's one of these players. Just play the game, mate. Just play the game. But he had a very, very justified shout on that one. He was all over him there.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. But, he's one of those players, isn't he, that just doesn't help himself by the amount of complaining he does and sort of hurling himself to the turf, a bit like Grealish, I suppose, in that sense.
Yeah, Grealish is a fantastic player, yet nobody seems to like him. And it's because of his throwing himself down on the ground and stuff. Same as Mo Salah. Again, another fantastic player, but his reputation's sullied and people don't like him simply because of his cheating. There is no two ways about it. That's what it is.
8.5 minutes gone. West Ham United 0, Crystal Palace 0. We're still waiting for our first shot of the game. West Ham looking the more likely to do something. They've had a couple of corners so far, which have amounted to nothing. Jarrod Bowen floating both into the near post. The first one being easily cleared. The second being met by the head of Angelo Ogbonna, who, however, was marked well, and there was no danger coming from it. But Palace now beginning to build on the right-hand side of the field, just inside West Ham's half. Zaha with the ball at his feet plays it inside. There are goals. And Palace now on the edge of the box. The ball's played into the area. This is dangerous. Benteke just outside the 6-yard box, looks to turn, closed down by about 4 West Ham defenders. The ball's played out on the left-hand side, chipped in to the box. Dawson is up highest to win the header as it hangs in the air, and it's nodded out for Palace's corner. I was just going to say, Dio, there's a couple of goals in the Premier League so far. Villa fallen behind at home to Brentford, which is interesting. And yes. Norwich, a goal down at home to Leicester so far. No goals. There's 5 games played this afternoon being played. Brighton, Everton, Newcastle, Southampton, and ourselves and Palace, the other 3 so far. But a bit of a surprise there, really. Brentford going ahead at Villa, but they've started well, haven't they?
They're doing all right at the start of the season, aren't they, Brentford? Where are they on the table? 9th, as things stand. So, yeah, they're doing well. Good luck to them. I do like to see a little club do well, but obviously not too well because... Although we haven't really got to worry about it this season, I do think, right, okay, here's the promoted sides. They're the ones we need to be watching. But I'd like to think that we are beyond having to worry about who's down in 15th and below, to be honest, this season. So, Crystal, if we beat Palace today, then they're going to start getting a little bit jittery, aren't they? I mean, they're right down the bottom.
Yep.
They've only scored a point so far.
Yep. Yeah, they were beaten by Chelsea, weren't they? 3-0, and then they drew last weekend, I think. But yeah, I mean, they're going to be needing to get something here, and the way it's going, it's not looking that likely. The corner they had a few moments ago amounted to nothing, obviously, as we didn't bring you anything. And West Ham are now looking to counter down the left. Antonio puts the ball into the box, which is hooked clear. But Angelo Bonner retrieves the ball, and West Ham look to build again. It's Declan Rice, who we haven't seen a lot of yet. Closed down by 2 players and loses the ball in a dangerous area. And Palace now breaking. It's Ayew bursting into West Ham's half. And Benteke has the ball out wide. Dawson has his hand up for a free kick that isn't going to be given. And Benteke hooks the ball out right to Zaha. Zaha on the edge of West Ham's box up against Said Benrahma. And Benrahma does really well to nick the ball off his feet. And Stuart Atwell, today's referee, has given a free kick. Not quite sure what the infringements for. The linesman, one of our match assistants, has his flag up for an infringement. Not quite sure what that was. Don't think it was offside, but perhaps it was. Perhaps it was for earlier in the game. Yeah, 11.5 minutes gone. West Ham 0, Crystal Palace 0. Actually, yeah, just confirmation there that it was for offside. I'm not a big fan of this DL. This, you know, we saw a lot of this at the Euros, didn't we? Where the linesman would wait to put up their flag until, you know, there was time to do so, rather than the old method of putting it up straight away. And I'm not sure I'm a fan of that. Are you? What do you make of that?
No, I'm not. Didn't we see? I can't remember what game it was where he should have flagged and somebody's got a clump afterwards where he should have, you know, the players carried on rather than being stopped for the flag, and somebody got a kick. Can't remember what game it was now. It might not have even been the Euros. But no, I fully agree. If it's offside, it's offside. Put your flag up straight away.
We're just seeing Stuart Atwell have a word with Christian Benteke. Benteke moving towards the sideline. I'm not quite sure what that was about. It's a throw into West Ham anyway, just on the halfway line, and the Hammers look to break down the right-hand side. A long ball hooked over the top into the path of Michail Antonio, but Guetta is out to claim that one for Palace. So yeah, it's a very, very slow start so far. Let us know what you think on the live stream anyway. We're going to be dipping into the Palace and our own forum, KUMB.com, to see what those of you not at the stadium today think of it. But pretty mundane stuff so far, Dale. Not a lot happening out there.
No, there's not a lot at all. It's cagey, but it's like the Leicester game, isn't it? You know, that's how it started.
Yep.
And look how it finished. Not worried yet. It's we're keeping them in control. They've not looked particularly dangerous. A little bit of luck with some of these balls played forward. We've looked the more threatening side, although we've had no clear-cut chances.
Absolutely.
You can see that all it needs is just slow it down a little bit.
Palace now looking to build on the right-hand side again. I mean, I said earlier that they were looking to profit on the left, and I don't think they've made a move on the left-hand side since then. Maybe that one earlier would have been Benteke a few months ago, but everything looks to be going down the right now. They've played the ball all the way back to the goalkeeper, and they look to build again. Switch possession. Ball comes over onto the left-hand side this time, but Palace building calmly. It's all inside their own half at the moment. They're not really getting anywhere, but West Ham a little bit frustrated perhaps. The ball's been run out of play, and a chance here for, I think that's Chiati, who miscontrolled and put the ball out into touch. So West Ham have a throw, and they win another throw because Ayew has just tackled Dawson, I think it is. But 14 minutes in anyway. The ball played into the box to Michail Antonio. Back to goal. Plays it back to Benrahma, but it's hooked out clear, and West Ham keeping possession now. But we need a shot or something here, don't we, DL? Something to liven us up a little bit.
We do. I mean, I think you're about 10 seconds ahead of me, maybe a little bit less.
Okay.
So I am playing catch up. Yeah, I'm just a shot on goal. I've got my volume muted today because it was a bit awkward last week, so I can't hear the crowd. Have you got volume? So I don't know what the atmosphere is like.
I'm on about 5%, so I've got something, you know, but very, very, very quiet. I mean, I've just seen Antonio look to turn, and there's the first shot of the game. Unfortunately, it's blocked by Chiati and just rolls through to the keeper. Took the sting out of it, really, and no real danger. But really good touch on the right-hand side there. We just saw Declan Rice play a great 50-yard ball across to Sue Fowl on the right-hand side, who hooked it back to Ben Rama. Little touch into Michael Antonio, who turns and shoots. Not dissimilar to how he scored his third goal against his first goal, our third goal against Leicester the other night.
No,
but it was blocked by Kyoto. West Ham now have a free kick, some 25 yards from goal from handball. But there's the shot we were after anyway. It's taken a while.
it has. Who's the handball? No, who's their number 9? Benteke.
I think that's
Ayew.
who put his hand up.
Yeah, that was pretty blatant.
Yeah. But Stuart Atwell drawing the line, which Ayew's got to go and stand behind. And it looks like Jared Bowen's probably going to be lifting this one into the box, although Sue Fowl has just told him to back off. It looks like he's going to take it now. No, it's yes, it is Sue Fowl. Goes one into the box, into the middle. It's headed clear. Falls to Jared Bowen on the right. Jared Bowen pulls it back across. And there's Dawson. Oh, and the shot is cleared. It was, I don't think it was particularly going towards goal, but it's still not clear. The danger's still there. Palace.
Yes.
Managed to get it out. But was that Dawson with the shot there?
It was, yes.
Yeah. Anyway, West Ham building again. Sue Fowl looks to centre again. And it's Ayew again, who's very busy with the block. And West Ham have another corner, but Dawson there went close.
He did. He went very close. Good bit of play from him there, actually. Where'd that come from? Been hiding that for the last 18 months, he has. Yeah, we looks like we're starting to get on top here. Don't want to speak too soon.
Yep.
But I can only judge with what I'm seeing. And I don't know how far ahead. I think you're 10 seconds, as I say. Kufal's still got the ball. And is that another corner? No, go.
No, I thought it was a corner, but I think it's a throw on. We've just seen the chance again where it was Jared Bowen who pulled it back. Dawson turned on a sixpence, as they used to say. I'm not sure the shot was actually going. It was goal bound. I think it was heading just a little bit wide, but he turned really well.
Yeah.
And the ball was hook clear anyway and danger averted. But good stuff from West Ham. Dear, we've been waiting a while, and there it is. Couple of chances within a couple of minutes.
Yeah, that could have gone anywhere, actually, off of that Palace player. He didn't really know much about it, did he?
Not at all. Not at all. I think it was just a question of get a boot in and put it wherever you can.
Bonner's just gone, being mugged there. Stay on your feet, mate. Stay on your feet. Teach you that in primary school.
West Ham back in possession anyway. The ball played down the left-hand side. Said Benrahma tries to flick it over the defender. He's won the ball back and he's played it out right. And there's a chance. I think that's Aaron Cresswell puts the ball into the box, but it's a poor delivery and it's clear, but only as far as Declan Rice. And West Ham begin to build again from the halfway line. 18 minutes gone. West Ham United 0, Crystal Palace 0. Beside Benrahma with a poor ball. And Palace are able to break once again as Antonio goes right through the back of his man. Bounces off him, in fact, but Palace have a free kick. There has been a goal elsewhere. I think we can report, and it's actually a few minutes ago. Villa have equalised.
They have indeed. They have indeed. Brentford doesn't really have much of a bearing on us, though. As it stands, the Premier League table, we are back on top, which is a sight to see. So we like that.
Yeah, I think. Are we behind? I mean, Man City must be top, I'm guessing, given that they won today.
No. On the as it stands table, you've got to remember that at the moment we're on 7 because we're drawing 0-0, and Man City, they're on 6 because they lost against that little team from North London, didn't they?
You're absolutely right. Of course they did. I'm sitting here naturally assuming that they've won every game they've played, but no, you're quite right. My apologies. Yes. So yeah. West Ham, Brighton, and Brentford 1, 2, and 3.
Yep.
Get the feeling it won't be like that in about 6 months' time, but you never know. You never know.
You never know, indeed.
Funny old game, as they say.
This bottom of the table is beautiful, though, isn't it? Arsenal 3 -9-0.
Dreadful. How much longer do you think Arteta's going to last if that carries on?
I think you'll be lucky to see out the week. I think they're going to have to pull. They're going to have to pull the trigger now, aren't they? They look like a team that's just completely devoid of ideas, don't they? I've seen highlights. I didn't see the game today, but I have caught highlights of them, and they look a bit clueless. They look like we did under Avram Grant.
Yes. I mean, I tuned into the first half and saw the last 10, 15 minutes of the second half. But I mean, they were dreadful. They you know, the players didn't look like they wanted to be there. You can tell when a team has got no sort of camaraderie in it, when they're doing what Will Zaha's doing just a few minutes ago, which we commented on. I think lots of players throwing their arms around, tutting at every decision, and and Arteta just looks like a man without a plan, doesn't he? Really, it's dreadful.
Yeah.
I just wonder how long it will be before they pull the plug.
It's a team of individuals, isn't it? It's not a team, which goes to show, I think, the good job that David Moyes is doing. Because we haven't got any standout players, and I'm not saying that in a detrimental way at all to our team, blimey.
Yeah.
But we haven't got stars, which to me says a lot, because there's a lot of togetherness in our team. He's got us functioning as a unit, whereas Arsenal, their players, I think, are more individually talented, and they don't all gel together. It's simple as that. Again, a bit like Pellegrini's second season, when we we should have been doing a whole lot better. Same as in Bilic's second season as well.
Yeah,
I know the board didn't particularly support him, but we still had players in that team where really we should have been doing better than what we were doing.
Mm-hmm.
But it's getting them to function as a cohesive unit, which is one of Moyes' his fortes, isn't it? Getting his teams to play as a unit, and it's paying dividends. Would Arsenal punt, or would Arsenal ask the question at West Ham? That's things you need to think of, really. I know Moyes isn't an Arsenal type manager, but he's got us playing some nice stuff, isn't he?
The best. I mean,
what would happen if an approach was made? I think Arsenal would be that desperate. They may even do it. Maybe they've learned going for the big name or the former player. But you see it as a new challenge. What do you think? Do you know what? I've done my best here, and the board haven't supported me during this window. I'm going to go somewhere I've got a bit of money.
I mean, that is the concern, isn't it? I mean, now his stock has risen over the course of the last year or so. That he may become. I think. Did you see that? There was a story that we posted on KUMB this morning. His comments yesterday, where he really, the first time he's ever really sort of expressed frustration, I think, reading between the lines in a press conference, where he was saying that we must get players. We've tried to do it, and for whatever reason, the money hasn't been there. They've been too costly, or we haven't been able to do it. Without sort of kind of directly. We're just seeing West Ham put a ball into Mickey Antonio in the box, and it's in the back of the net, I think. Oh, no, it's cleared off the line. Oh. Palace almost going behind. Antonio was there was a cross put in. Antonio was up against three defenders and the goalie, and the Hammer managed to win the ball. It looped agonisingly close to the line. Looked like it was about to go over, and then a Palace defender, I didn't quite catch who, managed to hook it off just as it was about to cross the line. West Ham still keeping the pressure on. Long ball delivered from the right towards Soufal on the right-hand side, but it seems to have gone out of play. The game has stopped. I'm not quite sure for what reason, but I think it was Ward who managed to clear the ball off the line for Palace there. Just seeing the ball again. In fact, Antonio doesn't even get the ball. It's just his presence that causes mayhem in the Palace box. And it's one of the Palace defenders, number 16, who actually heads the ball. It's going in, and then Ward, I think, just manages to, it's a complete defensive disaster. There's no danger of it going. I think it's, a couple of feet away from goal. But Michail Antonio doesn't even need to touch the ball and causes mayhem.
Yes. That's a bit like Cole though, isn't it?
Yeah. But with an end product.
He's a better Colton. He's so much like Colton Cole, isn't he? Really, but with the can finish better.
Yeah,
and I think that's why we love him.
Yeah, definite similarities between the two. But as you say, there's no competition. I don't think as much as I love Colton in terms of the ability to put the ball in the back of the net. But anyway, the closest we've come to a goal there, and it's come in the 23rd, 24th minute. West Ham almost taking the lead for an own goal, but the ball hooked away from under the crossbar by Ward for Palace. And West Ham, we're definitely beginning to threaten now, though, Dio.
They are, but threatening means nothing unless it's over the line. I think the way things are going, I think Palace will actually be the happier team when you take into account current form. Sorry, I'm just watching what Cresswell's up to here. We're playing it in the box again. and it's away. They seem quite organised at the back, Palace. I know they had just had that ricket with Antonio, but hey, they got the job done, didn't they?
Yeah, they've kept it out. West Ham looking to build again anyway. Just into the 26th minute. Declan Rice pushing forward. Finds Souček, who in turn finds Jared Bowen. Bowen cuts inside, looks for options in the box, can't find any, swings it out towards Antonio. It's played right through to Cresswell. Cresswell in space now. It's pulled it back. And the keeper's got a hand to it. And again, it's hooked clear. And Jared Bowen was poised to bang the ball in the net if he could get a touch on. It's back out wide. We'll stick with this for a minute. Pablo Fornals has the ball as he looks to jump into the box. He can't do it. Chips one back, looking for Antonio. It's cleared again. Palace still can't get the ball away. Antonio has the ball again in the box. He looks to turn. The shot is blocked. It's Souček with a shot, whose shot is blocked. Fornals has a shot that's blocked. It's and Palace do eventually get the ball away. But West Ham coming back again. Surely there's a goal in a minute, DL.
There's got to be, surely. There's got to be. But the longer it goes, could be one of those games, couldn't it?
Yep.
Come on, West Ham. We need a goal. This is the definition of we need a goal here. We need a goal. We've got to make this count.
The ball was just Cresswell's let the ball run agonisingly slow. Surprised the Palace defender let him do that, but the ball has rolled out for a corner on the other side. First time we're going to see a corner from the left flank this afternoon, but just seeing a replay of that little flurry of activity there. Bowen it was who put the ball into the box, and Cresswell, what an opportunity to do something. But no, there wasn't really any options for him there, unfortunately, so the chance was wasted. But anyway, we'll stick with this for a minute because Cresswell is going to be taking this corner. It's going to be an outswinger. Looking for Dawson, and Bonner and Rice are lining up around the penalty spot. They begin to move away. The ball's played in. Declan Rice with a flick on at the near post, and it's just past the post. Angelo Bonner picks up the ball. He's on the right-hand side looking for options. The ball's played back to Fornals. Fornals with two players against him, looks to roll it between the two. And Chiarte is too experienced and clever for that and puts the ball out into touch. But there's a goal coming, deal. You can feel it, can't you? You can feel it.
Yeah, you can feel it. But again, the longer it goes without it, the better the Palace is going to start feeling about themselves. I've just got the jitters. I said at the start, I've got the jitters about this game.
Super with the throw.
We don't do 3 wins in a row normally, do we?
It doesn't happen often, does it? It's. I mean, we what was it, 5 last year or 6 we got up to around January or February, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was when it's 6 in all competitions.
That's right. And we were looking back in the history books to about 1930 or something ridiculous like that, weren't we? Or I don't know. It was a long time ago, anyway.
It was. And for the F1 fans out there, the session still stopped. There are monsoon torrents running down the track. Don't look like it's going to be starting anytime soon. Sorry, Polaroid, but I weren't giving you like action, was I really?
28 minutes gone. West Ham United 0, Crystal Palace 0. The Hammers pretty much in control for the last 10 or 15 minutes, but Palace defending doggedly, clearing the ball off the line in the 24th minute. So when it looked like they might concede an own goal. Gerard McGiven asking, what time you got, guys? Gerard, I'm on 28 minutes and 28 seconds exactly. I'm about 10 seconds, I think, ahead of DL.
I'm on 28:25 now, 27 now. So yeah. Sorry, Polaroid.
So we're pretty close together there. But we are still awaiting our first goal. We're nearly a third of the way through the game. Donatella Story asking how we're watching this. Where we can't actually say, I don't think, but anyway, we do have streams. And if you're looking for streams, pop into the KUMB.com general discussion forum. There you will find a thread entitled Live Streams 2021-22 season. You should be able to find something to watch the game on there. Although, of course, I have to say once again, we do not advocate you doing that because it's a little bit naughty. 29 minutes gone. Who's the first goal going to come from here, DL? Hopefully it'll be us, but who do you fancy?
I've said at the start, I would not be surprised Palace score first. So, yeah, I'm just chuckling at Jeff Hathaway on the chat. Don't mean to be timberist. Thanks to him.
Yes. Sorry, Jeff. I did mean to bring that one up a little bit earlier.
No, I think I wouldn't be surprised to see him score first, and then it wakes us up a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, it is, isn't it? It's kind of all set for one of those, West Ham sort of seem to be in complete control. You can see Palace perhaps countering and catching us on the break. That seems to be our weakness a little bit. But not much sign of it so far. Anyways, we do reach the 30-minute mark, a third of the way through the game. West Ham United 0, Crystal Palace 0.
They'll be over the moon if it stays like this, wouldn't they? They'll be absolutely over the moon. The horrible, muggy little team.
Yes. Just seen a shot of David Moyes on the touchline. Looks quite animated. Don't think he'll be particularly disturbed with what he's seen so far. West Ham have been in pretty much control of the game, but Palace have a free kick anyway inside West Ham's half now, just 10 yards or so away from the centre circle. Gallagher it is who's going to be lofting one into the box. Thomas Souček trying to get the troops organised as Stuart Atwell gives the signal to take the free kick. It's played down the left-hand side, and that's quite possibly the worst free kick I've ever seen in my life. Clearly one off the training ground, but the two Palace players not on the same wavelength. Instead of hoiking one into the penalty area, it's played down the left flank where it runs immediately out of play. What did you make of that one, DL?
I didn't see it because I was going through Twitter and the streams to see if there was any interesting comments that we could put up, but alas, no. So I will now do my job and focus on the game.
West Ham breaking on the right. Soufal is in space. He's breaking towards the byline, puts the ball across, but it's blocked out and runs straight back to the keeper. Some really good defensive work there once again from Palace. And,
yes.
Have you got that now? Are you back with us?
I've just seen that. It was a bit of a lame ball in, actually, to be fair. Could have done much better. I don't know. It's like we're playing a little bit like the final ball. We seem to be like we've got a bit of an hangover. We don't seem to be as decisive as we have in previous games.
Agreed. We are back in possession anyway. Michail Antonio is on the right flank. He's done very well to win the ball. He's looking for options in the middle. There's none there at the moment. He's cut inside, looking for a shot. It's been blocked yet again, and the ball is cleared by Palace, but only as far as Thomas Souček, who's pushed to the ground. Stuart Atwell says no. It's a fair challenge. Not quite sure I agree with that one, Mr. Atwell, but
no, that was a rugby tackle. He actually had his hands wrapped around his legs.
Yeah. It looked a little bit dodgy, but anyway, West Ham are back in possession, and I think we're going to get a free kick this time. It looks like Chiarti's put Souček on the deck. Stuart Atwell's very busy. I can just imagine Gnome will be going ballistic inside the stadium at that one right now.
Though saying that, to be fair, he's been pretty consistent. I mean, the one where Sahar threw his arms up, that was obviously a foul. He's let that go, so it's not like he's just doing it against us. He's being pretty consistent. And do you know what? I actually quite like that every last little thing isn't being pulled back. He's letting the game flow, which I prefer. I much prefer that than it being blown up every couple of seconds. Yeah,
totally in a total agreement with you on that one. Anyway, West Ham have a free kick. It's Bowen who's going to curl an in-swinger into the box, into the penalty area. It's headed clear yet again by Palace. I think Chiarti rising highest in that little melee there to head the ball clear. But we'll just stick with this for a moment because Declan Rice has got the ball on the edge of the penalty box. It's cleared again. Palace are just they're getting a lot of toes and things on the ball, but just not managing to clear. But here's the chance we were talking about potentially. Palace now countering on the left-hand side. Sahar, but Atwell has pulled something back. I'm not quite sure what for. Sahar has got his head in his hands yet again. Complaining. I think now we're seeing Vladimir Soufal. I think that is Dio on the deck. It's a head injury. So, Sahar's complaining, but, the rules state that for any potential head injury, it's got to be called back straight away. And actually, Sahar's led with the elbow there. He's gone straight into the temple of Soufal. I think that's a little bit naughty. What do you make of that?
Oh, yeah. I've literally just seen that. That is a bit naughty. Go and look at your monitor, ref.
Yeah. That's a leading elbow.
Yeah, that's not accidental. That's not all my arms are up there because I'm jumping. That's diving in with your elbows up.
While Soufal is receiving some much-needed treatment on the deck, we're just seeing Kevin Nolan chatting to the troops on the sidelines where they're all taking drinks. Said Ben Rama deep in conversation with David Moyes. who's issuing instructions. Ben Rama's been a bit quiet today, isn't he, Dio? He's been our player
He
of the
has.
season so far. Not really been involved a lot yet.
Yeah, because of my comments about Ben Rama last season, I was waiting for you to say something before I actually said it. But no, he has been quiet. But again, it just goes to show how important he was in those first 2 games, because he was making that midfield tick.
Yeah.
Today he's slightly off, but we can't expect him to be 100% every game.
David Sullivan, majority shareholder David Sullivan at the game today, seated next to his younger son, Jack. No sign of both sons, actually, Jack and Dave both there, and no sign of Ms. Benton Hughes, his partner, who usually accompanies him to the games.
No, nor his business partner, by the looks of it.
But anyway,
the 2 Davids clearly have the same hairdresser.
Yes. So far back on his feet. That's the good sign. Anyway, he's having a little chat with Vieira. I'm not quite sure what they're talking about. I think Vieira's accusing him of going down a bit lightly, which is a bit rich coming from a player who was want to do that himself. Thinking of Vieira, I mean, we've got to bring it up, haven't we? While we've got a break. Do you remember the tete-a-tete he had with Neil Ruddock that time in that famous game at the Boleyn? Yes. I think he spat, didn't he, at Ruddock? And Ruddock, I guess, threatened to take his head off. And didn't like it, did he?
No, he doesn't. He's another one of those players, isn't he, that likes to give it out, but his little sphincter starts twitching when people give it back. Relied on his size.
Razor didn't take kindly to being. Absolutely. Memorable occasion. I think we won that game, didn't we? 2-1. Was that the one where Di Canio scored the winner potentially? I think it the one. I think it's the one where he lifted it over Keown's head, as we memorably said at the time. He made a monkey out of Martin Keown, which, to be fair, isn't too difficult to do. Bless him. 37 minutes gone. Anyway, West Ham United 0, Crystal Palace 0. Not much has happened in the last couple of minutes. A lot of play inside in or around the centre circle. It looks like we might be going to half time without a goal unless we can get a late chance here. West Ham really have threatened to score so far. Nothing really from Palace. I say that as they approach our penalty box. Hopefully not a case of speaking too soon. Palace have a throw in about 15 yards from goal anywhere on the right flank.
Yeah, it's been a bit. I think it's been a bit sloppy from us. You can see what we're trying to do. It's just doesn't seem to be working. I think boys might need to shuffle the pack, not necessarily make subs at half time, but maybe just shuffle the pack a little bit, get Ben Rama playing but a bit more off of Antonio's shoulder or Bowen, because something's not quite clicking today. And as I say that, Antonio is trying to bomb it down the left-hand side. Now he's running through the middle. Nice ball there to, I think he was trying to play it to Sufal, didn't come off, it was intercepted.
But that's really symptomatic of the way we've played so far, isn't it? You know, there's lots of good intent, lots of good build-up, but the final ball has been lacking so far. And here's a final ball where Antonio is now bursting through the box. He's got a shot on. He's been held up. He's played it back to a little 1-2 with, and it's in the net. Good. We scored at last. There we go. Pablo Fornals banging the goal in.
3-3.
Yeah, fantastic. We were kind of worried that we'd go to the break without a goal. The ball played through to Michail Antonio. Looked like he was on for another go himself. The shot was blocked. It fell to, I think it was Cresswell, wasn't it, Dio, that put the ball back in his path, and Fornals eventually putting the ball in net. But whoever it was and however it came about anyway, West Ham are 1 goal ahead. Absolutely.
That's what we needed. See, that's a sign of a good team. You ain't played particularly well. Near enough half time. Wallop had that. And it's a little Spanish man again. Look at his face.
Yeah, it's actually Fornals, isn't it? The shot was, Antonio's shot was blocked, picked up. He actually laid it back very cleverly to Fornals. Fornals back in to Antonio's path. Antonio drew the goalkeeper out, feigned to shoot, and just touched the ball back inside. It's clever play from Antonio, and massive credit to him there, because, you know, really he's absolutely within his. He's absolutely, you know, he can shoot there, can't he? There's no, he could have. Yeah, he could have shot, and no one would have complained. But he's done the right thing, you know. Seen Pablo Fornell's on his right hand side, a couple of yards away, and it's a lovely little pass. Almost the same as last week's goal for Ben Rama, where he played it inside to Ben Rama. Brilliant stuff from Antonio as well.
It was. Mind you, their 18 had a bit of a mare, didn't he? He should have stopped that. But we'll take them. Pardon me.
Another assist for Mikhail Antonio, and as DL points out, another goal for Pablo Fornells. West Ham United 1, Crystal Palace 0. 5 minutes to go to the break, and my stream appears to have ceased, so I'm going to have to give it a reboot. So, DL, it's over to you for updates for the minute. I have it back.
Yep, I've still got mine.
Okay.
40 minutes, 32.
Palace just looking to break on the left, and it's still come to nothing. Zaha, yet again, looks like the most frustrated man in the world when things aren't going his way, and that's certainly been the case so far today.
Would you have him if he was available?
Oh, you know what? Yes, I think so, because we'll come back to that in a minute, because Bowen's just escaped his marker on the right-hand side. He's cut inside, looking for options. He's heading towards the box and just trips over his own feet there, but the ball's played out for a corner for West Ham. Yeah, I would take him, actually. I like a player. I like a player who's got the ability to run at defenders and do something magical with his feet, and he certainly can do that. I just don't think he's playing in the right team, and I'm not sure a team like Palace is made for him. I think Grealish, will be revitalised. I wouldn't say revitalised. He was doing really well at Villa, but I think he would be a different player at Man City when he's surrounded by top quality players. I think Zaha would probably be the same. So yeah, I think so.
Yeah, he went to Man United too soon, didn't he?
Yeah,
One of the best career move for him.
West Ham have a corner. Jared Bowen, both hands up. That should mean the deep corner. Indeed, it is. Nodded to the sent to the far post where the Palace keeper was waiting. Clearly, they've been doing their homework and know whether that is near post or that is far post. I guess if we can pick that up, then a professional football team that have been working on their defensive options all week can see that one. But anyway,
indeed,
42 minutes gone. 1-0 to West Ham.
And the qualifying hasn't resumed yet either. Got to decide what I'm going to do for tea tonight, Haven't even worked that out yet.
Well, West Ham have picked up the ball again. It's a poor ball played in, and Angelo Bonner's done really well to intercept it, but Pablo Fornells is a little bit slow and concedes possession. And Palace now look to build. Here he is, Zaha on the left-hand side, looking to trick his way around Soufal, loses track of the ball a little bit, but Palace keep possession. Ayew bursts into the box, looks to shoot. It's blocked by Dawson. West Ham managed to clear. The Hammers retain the lead. Palace look to build yet again, though. And we do have another goal, I think. Everton have scored at Brighton. Brighton and Hove Albion 0. Everton 1. So Brighton, who are currently second place in the Premier League. Bad news for them.
It is indeed. Yes, it is indeed. They now drop down to... Where they drop down to now? They're now down to 8th, and Everton go top of the league with that, I think. Oh, no, they're 1 point behind us. Now they're on 7. Of course, no, because we've got the 9 points, haven't we?
Yeah.
Of course.
Yep. Maximum points we're heading for at the moment. But, of course, a long, long way to go yet. And as West Ham fans, we certainly never count our chickens. And
Liverpool, Chelsea, there we go. Put a $5 on a draw for that.
Is that
and
tomorrow?
Then we'll go into the international break, 2 points clear at the top of the league.
Wouldn't that be wonderful? Wouldn't that be absolutely fantastic? Busy month for West Ham in September. We'll actually have a chat about that, I think, at the break or perhaps at the end. But lots of games to come. They're going to be coming thick and fast. Now our Europa League programme is known. We'll talk about that a bit at the end as well, because we know when and who we're going to be playing. But we'll just stick with the game for a minute. We're in the final minute of the first half. Palace with the ball, looking to do something on the edge of West Ham's box. West Ham keeping it tight. Declan Rice nipping in and stealing the ball. Finds Ben Rama. West Ham now looking to counter. Ben Rama breaks away. He's got 3 players against him. Can he find Fornells? He can find Fornells. Fornells is running into the box. Pulls it back. Oh, it's just shy of Ben Rama. It's so unlucky. So unlucky, deal. Would have been a great...
I'm just watching it now. Yeah, ever so literally inches when it inches. That would have been a lovely goal and move as well.
Yep.
Steve, see what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
And they will, every now and again, they will come off, as we've seen, which is why we're 1-0 up.
Yep.
I do like this West Ham side. There's just something about it.
You know, it's good to watch, isn't it? I mean, how many times over the years have we gone into a game and we're sort of thinking, oh, here we go again, and you know, and even in these positions. But you know, you're watching this now, and instead of Palace have had quite a bit of possession, admittedly, in the last few minutes. But I don't know about you, but I'm watching this thinking, well, where's the second goal going to come from, rather than, you know, when are they going to equalise? Do you know what I mean?
See, I don't think we're going to get a clean sheet on this. I just don't think our defence is good enough to get a clean sheet, especially when Palace has got Benteke and Sahar in. They have got goals in them. I know they haven't scored yet, but it's against West Ham. You know what I mean? If you're looking to break the duck, who else is there to come rocking along?
Yeah.
I don't think we'll keep a clean sheet this game. So we are going to need to score again if we're going to get 3 points. But quite impressed with Ben Rama at that little bit of play there. He was chomping at their heels then, like little Jack Russell. He wasn't doing that last season.
This goes back to something we were talking about last week, doesn't it? When we were saying how he appears to have put on a few pounds over the summer, you know, in the right places. Not like all of us, unfortunately, but just seems to have bulked up a little bit, doesn't he? And seems to be that much stronger and that much better for it this season. Yeah.
And Fab has actually held the ball. Is that the first time this game, is it?
I think it is, yeah. We're what, in the final minute, 2 minutes added on, in case you were wondering, at the end of the first half. We're in the final 10 or 15 seconds now. I don't think anything else is going to happen now. Spencer Neal also pointing that out on the live chat. First touch for Fab. I think you're right, Spencer. Jeff Hathaway asking, would the referees be aware of Zaha's antics each week and therefore judge him more harshly? I suppose that means. But we'll have a chat about that in a minute, I think, Jeff. But that is half time. The whistle blowing after 47 minutes and 9 seconds. 2 minutes added on. West Ham going to the break 1-0, and you know, it hasn't been the most fluid and effective half really from the Hammers, has it, so far, Dale? But
no.
You know, not what we saw really against Leicester at times last week. But Palace really, as you just said there, Palace really haven't had a sniff at goal, and I guess we can't complain at having kept a clean sheet in the opening 45.
Well, quite. And you know, again, not forgetting last week we went in 1-0 against Leicester. I think we went in behind against Newcastle.
Yep, 2-1.
So you know, it's a case of not being too pessimistic, but it's difficult, isn't it, to not be too optimistic either. And we now have Gnome and Rio connecting, so I'm going to disappear for a couple of minutes and do my ablutions.
No buddies, no buddies, no worries. Here we go. Because it is very, very loud with everyone coming in. So I'll just call you one at a time, if I may. Rio, good to see you, buddy. How are you doing up there? Are you enjoying the first half so far?
Yeah, it's been probably the stickiest performance. Probably of the three. I know we didn't particularly play well in the first half. We've done all right. I think Palace have been most disciplined side we've come across.
Having a bit of trouble there, Rio, because of the we've got the guy on the background, unfortunately. I'll just put you back on mute for a second. Gnome, you'll be the same, I guess, because you're in the stadium. But someone who's in the posh seats, look, up there with the hat on today, who's not going to be affected by the background noise, is the Pink Palermo. How you doing, Pinky? Good to see you.
Yeah, good afternoon, Graham. And what can I say? An absolutely sensational pass by Said Benrahma.
Yep.
Set Antonio on his way that led to the goal. I mean, absolutely, hands up, doubted him last season, but this season he's on fire. And what a ball. Antonio capitalised. We did all the good stuff. And Pablo Fornals, in he goes, taps it in. I mean, Great stuff by West Ham. We've totally dominated the first half.
Yeah.
You know, it's been as one-sided a game as I can recall. Palace, always a threat in the sense of a quick breakaway, but I think that goal, that'll really be the difference. And I hope we see more of the same in the second half.
Yeah, good stuff. We certainly hope it stays that way. And no, we were saying just a few moments ago, Lucas Fabianski made that save from the cross right at the end there. We think that might be the first time he's had anything to do in that half. It's as Pinky and Rio were saying, it really has been very one-sided, isn't it, so far?
Yeah, bloke behind me when Fabianski caught that cross. So is that his first touch? I'm struggling to think of another one. He's got the facts and everything, but yeah, very one-sided. Alex, vocal really. I mean, about 10 minutes in, they got a free kick on this side, maybe 10 yards into our half.
Yeah.
Everyone, the players went up for it, turned around, tapped to the nearest player, 2 seconds later, back to the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
You know, it's something that come to try and avoid this week, and that's obviously not working now. I was one of those games where we've been struggling to try and break down the dates, but
yeah,
we got the goal settled out, you know, a little bit. I mean, every time Antonio gets Liverpool, it's scaring me like this. But,
okay. Happy so far.
Yeah, they echo what Pinky said. Ben Ryan was full.
Good stuff.
And Atwell's having a nightmare. Just to keep up
we did mention you actually
I thought you might have done.
about 10 minutes before half time when he didn't give a foul against Souček, but yeah, when perhaps we can have a chat with you about that after the game anyway. But Rio, you know, are you surprised at how sort of Palace haven't really threatened us at all so far? I mean, you know, we've pretty much run the game, and we haven't had an awful lot of clear-cut opportunities, but you know, Fabianski's had nothing to do, has he, so far?
Palace are an incredibly poor side. They're struggling last season. They had a message to change the system, but rubbish different plays. And then second, it's been the focal point of their attack.
Yeah.
Somewhat enigmatic with himself after the same. Still a successful nothing side. The brightest player has been that in the middle. I think it's some sort of Gallagher from Chelsea.
The guy with the long hair.
Long hair, yeah. He's been there for his part, but
yeah.
That's a mistake. They're incredibly poor.
Yeah, good stuff. But Pinky, do we think that we could potentially be on for our first clean sheet of the season, or would that be pushing it a bit too far at this stage?
Couldn't quite hear what your question was there, so I'll just answer my own question.
Okay.
And really, what I'm looking for is more of the same in the second half. Try and keep a clean sheet, because the way the table looks right now.
Yep.
West Ham United are top of the table with a positive goal difference of +6.
Yep.
And a club called Arsenal, I'm not too familiar with them. Maybe some other viewers do know them. They're rock bottom at the minute, goal difference -9. And I tell you what, I wouldn't be a bit surprised if our own club wasn't doing souvenir screen prints of the league table after 3 games. Very muggy, but we've seen worse, haven't we? I mean, halcyon days for a West Ham United supporter at the minute. You've got to be happy with what you're seeing. We are in total control of this game and looking very good. I expect us to add a second or a third in the second half. And on that note, I'll see you after the game.
Au revoir, my friend. We'll catch you again at the final whistle. Gnome, let's come back to you quickly before we crack on. But yes, I mean, Pinky's saying that he thinks that we could keep that clean sheet at long last. I mean, you know, Dio and I were sort of chatting in the first half, saying, you know, you're normally worried at this stage, right? It's normally a question of we've scored, and then you're thinking sort of, you know, when's the equaliser going to arrive? But I'm kind of sitting here thinking, instead of that, I'm sort of thinking, well, when's the next goal for West Ham going to come, rather than, when are we going to be pinned back? I mean, am I being a little bit too optimistic, based on the opening 2 games, or is that sort of a sense you feel as well, and also that of the people around you at the stadium?
It's kind of one of those things where our sort of history is weighs heavily on our minds, doesn't it?
Yeah.
An equaliser would be half of the course based on the many years that you and I have been going.
Indeed.
But the more that this thing carries on, and the more that we don't look like that, I guess the younger ones amongst us probably think, well, that's what thing we'll be thinking about. Unfortunately, those of us who've been going for say 54 years. And it takes a lot to get that fatalism out of the head, where it's up. Now, if I'd been to 3 games, this is my 3rd, I'd be so worried about, I'd say old habits die hard, but I think we're seeing why Alice from the story. I mean, I didn't qualify Chelsea. I won't go last year qualify Chelsea, but by all accounts, they forced it to play against Brentford. I would want to be more clinical. Well,
yep.
The only thing I'd say is that a couple of times, I mean, we managed to firstly
No, could you speak up a little bit? We're having a bit of trouble getting you on the.
Yeah,
that's better. That's better. Yeah, a bit closer to your face. Yeah.
Yeah. The couple of times we potentially got caught out on forward. So one was the guy handled it, his hands up, and eventually outward looking up the book and realised. And there's another one where, again,
all right, I'm going to. Sorry, no, I'm just going to cut in there because I can't hear you at all. There's an awful lot of background noise coming in right now. So I'm just going to jump to Rio if we can. And because Rio, it's your first game back, I believe, in the stadium, isn't it? Today.
I was there for Monday night, and
okay.
Just couldn't get annoyed to join the group.
Okay.
And also I took the Southampton last season. I've taken from being back in both games is that positivity this team has generated.
Yeah.
Really shining through the whole circle. Before the game, everyone was absolutely positive. Hoping that how West Ham will actually operate. Absolutely brilliant in the counter attack.
Okay. Sorry, Rio, we've got the dreaded PA in the background again, which means we can't hear what you're saying at the moment. I'm guessing we can't ask him to button it for a couple of minutes while we chat. But DL, did you have a question for the guys before we get back to the second half?
No.
Well, that helps.
I hadn't even thought about it. I remember the next time.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. We'll. That guy in the background's making so much bloody noise. We can't hear you anyway at the moment. So we'll leave it there anyway. And we'll chat again at the hopefully we can get Rio and Gnome and Pinky again at the full-time whistle for a bit of a post-match chat. But thank you, gentlemen, for joining us anyway. Much appreciated. And enjoy the second half. Hopefully we're all still happy and smiling when we get to the final whistle anyway. But there you go. Rio and Gnome and the Pink Palermo joining us live from the London Olympic Stadium, giving us their views on what they've seen in the opening 45 minutes there. West Ham United, of course, leading Crystal Palace by 1-0. Thanks to that Pablo Fornells goal in the, when was it, dear? With the 38th minute, 7 minutes before the break.
Yeah.
What do we need to do in the first 10 minutes of the second half, DL, here?
Carry on with what we were doing. What I did find interesting while you was talking to the other chaps was the stats were up, and Palace are actually ahead of us in every single one, apart from the one that counts, 1-0. They've got high. They've made more passes, higher pass completion rate and accuracy.
Okay.
More possession, and yet I think they might even feel a bit hard done by, to be honest, going in 1-0 down at the break. But that's a sign of a good team, isn't it? Winning.
Well, it's an interesting one, isn't it? Because I mean, obviously the stats are based on facts. You can't twist those, but you know, the passing one, I guess, is open to interpretation, because we saw this against Leicester, didn't we, last week? The two centre halves spent much of the first half pinging the ball between themselves and consequently racking up high numbers in the passing stats, but they're not doing anything with the ball. And I get the sense that that's what we've seen really from Palace here today. There's been a lot of knocking the ball around the back four, looking for an option to break forward. And the only time I think we've ever really been threatened is when we've been attacking them, I think, and they've had the opportunity to hit us on the break with Ayew and Zaha, bursting through the centre and on the left. But, you look at the shots tally, West Ham 8, Crystal Palace 1. West Ham, interestingly, still only one shot on target, which was the goal. Yeah, out of those 8 shots, so it's not great, and I'm sure David Moyes will be impressing upon his team at the interval that they need to do a little bit more in the second half. We're just seeing the players coming out now, anyway. Oh, we do, without a shadow of a doubt. We do need to do more. Their keeper hasn't actually had to make a save. All he's done really is just pick the ball out the back of the net. So we need to work him. We need to work their keeper, and it'll come. Still don't think we're going to keep a clean sheet. I might have mentioned that. So let's just hope we need another goal. Just taking a quick look at
there goes me Pepsi Max. We need another goal, and they did show one of those fancy graphs though about attacking intent. Yeah, and the Palace one was barely registered, but ours was pretty up there on the scale. So we can have a better second half. I'll be happy. Yeah, and more relaxed. Hobo, yes, I do remember Norman Collier. Thank you very much. Hopefully, we've got the audio back now, where we're not having to worry about battling with the stadium announcer, whether that be Martin Goddelman. I think it used to be. I don't know if he's still doing it at the Olympic Stadium. Of course, Jeremy Nicholas was the stadium announcer before that. And interestingly, in case you didn't know, got Knees Up Mother Brown, KUMB, a shout in FIFA, the video game. Because when Jeremy Nicholas used to do the commentary for FIFA, so the story goes, he was allowed to say a few random lines. Every person who contributed some commentary was allowed to give some random lines, as long as, as well as the ones they were asked to do. And Jeremy Nicholas gave Knees Up Mother Brown a shout. So if you play FIFA 2014, I think it is, and repeat Jeremy Nicholas's commentary enough, you will at some point hear KUMB get a shout out. Okay, there you go. So my little claim to fame was I watched the playoff final in 2012 next to Jeremy Nicholas with Jeremy. Yeah, nice lad, Jem. Yes, he was. South African wife, whose name escapes me, but nice guy. We're underway anyway. The second half's begun. I was going to give you a few comments from the KUMB.com forum match thread, but the game's underway. I'm going to do it anyway, actually. Bubbles 1966 says, until the goal, it was all a bit frenetic and uncultured, while the goal itself with the double 1-2 looked like it had been taken off of a computer program. There you go, another reference to FIFA. Dawson and Souček have been good. Rice and Soufal less so. Could still go either way, in my opinion, though. Palace have had 2 or 3 who seem to think the ball's got COVID. How much did they pay for GUI? I'm sure I've pronounced that terribly wrong, but I think that's a pretty accurate assessment, don't you, DL, of the first half? Yeah. Very much so. I'm having a little scan of the thread now whilst it's whilst it's quiet. Okay. Nothing's jumped out at me apart from the one where you've just commented. What else have we got? Rice's worst half of football for us in aeons, according to Ace Face. But that's been replied to by Claret and Blue Glasses. His first half against Newcastle was worse. But yeah, I kind of agree with that, actually. And somebody's popped up the goal. Oh, who's that? That's Dan. That's Nutnock too. Has kindly popped the goal up in the match thread if people want to see it again.
What page would that be on if they're looking to go directly to it?
That is on page 10, which quiet match thread today, isn't it? Page 10 at half time.
I think everyone must be doing something else. I can't think what. But,
Yeah, the natives.
game.
It's because the natives are happy with the football.
Don't we always say this? You know, whenever West Ham are doing well, the match threads are generally quiet. It's only when, you know, we've had a horrendous game that they start to fill up with posts. But that's the nature of web forums and social media. I guess people
absolutely
generally use it when there's something to complain about.
I'm looking at the Palace match thread, and there's not a lot on there really. Not a lot on there at all. That is why Zaha gets angry. This is from earlier on. Clear booking for Kufal for the drag back. Nearly every other time or game, that's a booking. Well, he would say that, wouldn't he? Ooh, that was close. Well done, Ward. It's actually come off the first page now. There's now 4 pages.
Is it really?
Let's have a look. I'm going to skip just to the 4th page. There we go. It's probably got one post on it.
We're just seeing, just going to break back here because West Ham or Declan Rice just nipped in and got another one of those interceptions under his belt, just on the edge of the Palace box, but he couldn't find a teammate inside the box. I'm pretty certain that Michail Antonio is going to be awarded a free kick for that. Yes, Kayati going over the top of him. Antonio doing really well, as he does, using his strength to stand up and then fall over at the opportune moment to win a free kick. So we'll just stick with this for a minute because West Ham have a free kick some 35 yards from goal. 12 tight 12. Can you watch the game on here? No, you can't, but you can listen to us tell you what's happening if you like. We'll try and keep you up to date with everything that's happening. Elaine Nelson, hi Elaine, good to see you again, says we're all watching or listening to you, so not on the match thread. So there you go. Perhaps it's our fault, DL. It's Aaron Cresswell. He's going to be taking the free kick. He's going to whip one in to the near post, looking for Declan Rice, but the ball's gone straight through to the goalkeeper. One off the training ground. I guess they'll have to go back and revisit that at Chadwell Heath. Oh, sorry, not Chadwell Heath. They're at Rush Green these days, of course, aren't they? Over the course of the next 48 and a half minutes gone. 1-0 to West Ham, DL.
Going back to their match thread, they're quite surprised that Zaha got away with that elbow on Kufal in the first half. Because somebody again was whinging about Kufal, what he got away with, and then somebody's put is very surprised that Wilf got away with that one. So there was. Oh, just seeing West Ham on the attack now. Jared Bowen's over the top. He's got options. Tries to play it through for Ben Rama. Ben Rama's got behind the defence. He's had a shot to the left of the goalkeeper, but the keeper's down smartly to save that. And not really the best effort from Ben Rama. Didn't really get an awful lot of power behind it, but better stuff from West Ham, DL. First time we've really seen them stretch Palace in that fashion and, you know, break quickly. Yeah, should have scored there. Should have levered it, got his laces through it, I think. After his performances in the last 2 games, we'll give him a good bit of slack there. But it was a good ball from Bowen, mine.
Yeah, it was terrific stuff. Good stuff. Anyway, that's what we'd like to see a little bit more of, I think, in this second half. The game, I mean, it's early days, isn't it? We're only 5 minutes in, but it certainly looks like the game's opening up a little bit more, you know, in comparison to what we saw in the first half. Anyway.
Yeah, what I'm hoping is that our quality shines through. Palace now have got no option. If they don't want to lose the game, they're going to have to be less defensive. Yeah. They're going to have to try and get us on the break. And as we see there, they look a bit disorganised now. They're going a bit further forward, and it's leaving us gaps. So hopefully we can exploit that and bang in another one. If we get 2, I can't see them getting 2. I still think they'll score, but I can't see them getting 2.
We've just seen Zaha hit the deck again, and up go those arms in frustration as Declan Rice. I don't think it was a foul. I think it was a perfectly decent challenge. He did come in from the side. Zaha looks absolutely perplexed. In fact, he's almost got a permanent face of. Almost looks like that constantly. Really, that's about 7 or 8 challenges he's complained about, I think, in this game so far. But decent challenge, I think, from Declan, wasn't it, DL?
It was a good challenge, and I think that's the only. That'd be the only reason I wouldn't want Zaha playing for us. He'd need to cut that out. I tell you, he reminds me of. It reminds me of Roy, not Roy Keane. Who's the bloke that we had from Spurs, the Irish bloke called Keane?
Robbie Keane.
Robbie Keane. He reminds me of him. I could never warm to him, even when he played with us, because he has this dog in a headlight look when he got fouled with his and he puts his arms up to the ref. Zaha just reminds me of him when he does that, and it's great to me.
Just seen West Ham have another shot. This time it's Jared Bowen trying his luck from the edge of the box after some really good work on the right flank from Vladimir Sufal. Took a throw in after that. The ball was worked into Bowen on the edge of the box, who turned and tried his luck, but it's a loose effort and it's well over the bar. But I mean, it's better sides from West Ham. Palace still aren't showing anything. It's a couple of shots. Ben Rama and Bowen now have had efforts, and you get the feeling this is what David Moyes would have been saying at the break deal, isn't it? That for all the possession we've had in that first half, there's been no end product. So let's start pulling the trigger, a little bit more often.
Absolutely, would have made a great conversion, the Bowen shot, if it was rugby, but unfortunately it is football. Oh, hang on, what's going on here now? Antonio back to goal through to Ben Rama. And what's this going to come to? You know what it comes to anyway. And another shot on target. Another shot on target there. So, we're creeping in. That was Souček.
Yeah, 3 efforts ongoing 4 minutes for West Ham. None really troubling Palace. But, as you say, if you don't buy a ticket, you can't win the lottery, as they
Absolutely.
So, it's hopefully it's going to come. Palace back in possession now, looking to build on the left. It's very, very patient from Palace. West Ham really well set up defensively. That 2 solid banks, but they've got behind now. And Ayu's put a cross in. Dawson has won it in the middle. He's sent it out, and Gallagher, I think, is Palace's number 23, who I think Gnome was saying there at halftime has been their best player of the first half. I think it'd certainly go along with that, winning the ball. But Palace maintaining possession. We've just seen actually. I think it's now who's that hit the deck? Someone's hit the deck. I think that might be Sufal. The ball's been played out into touch. As soon as the ball's gone out of play, he's dropped to the deck, and Stuart Atwell is just going over to take a look now. Not quite sure what that was, whether there was an infringement or a tackle there, but he's back up anyway. But so I just going back actually very quickly, Deal, to what you were saying about that what we thought might have been an elbow from Zaha. You said there was a couple of people on the Palace side saying they were concerned about it. I didn't mean to bring it up. I didn't get the opportunity. There was quite a few people in the KUMB.com match thread who said exactly the same. They thought it was deliberate from Zaha. So it'd be interesting to see that one again on Match of the Day later.
Yeah, as soon as I saw it, I thought it was deliberate. He led straight in with his elbow into the side of his head. It was unnatural. It wasn't, we see him when they go up where you have to give them the benefit of the doubt because of the arm position. But no, that was arm up, leading with a forearm straight into his face. And that was very lucky that was. I mean, it wasn't even looked at. If that was, it would have been in trouble, I think.
Palace have just had a shot, I can tell you, and it's that man, Wilfried Zaha, burst through the centre, managed to evade the attentions of Craig Dawson, pulled the trigger with his left foot, and sent it. Well, you said this last week. It would have been Rose Ed in a normal stadium, but as it wouldn't even reach row A at the Olympic Stadium. But Palace have an effort anyway. So West Ham have got to be a little bit careful there.
Yep. Yeah, it weren't the greatest of shots at all, but good defending. Good defending. We had to push him wide.
Very much so. We are 55 minutes in. We've got through that first 10 minutes we were talking about at halftime. West Ham still leading Palace by 1-0 here at the break. The only goal coming in the 38th minute from Pablo Fornals. Declan Rice conceding a free kick, giving the Palace player a little shove there. Palace's best player, we said, not MacArthur, Gallagher, who I believe is on loan from Chelsea, isn't he, this season? But Palace take the free kick. Look down the left. It's Zaha on the ball. He's running up against Sufal, who's holding his line there. And they both go to the floor. And Atwell puts his arms out as if to say, no infringement, goal kick. Zaha, of course, doesn't like the decision, complains vociferously once again. But good defensive work, I think, there from Sufal. So West Ham have a goal kick. Anyway, that's the upshot of all that. Zaha denied once again. Sean says, afternoon, gents. Weird having a 3 p.m. Saturday game. Yeah, it's a bit of a throwback, Sean, isn't it? Doesn't feel like we've done this for a while, but good to have you on the stream anyway. It's quite nice, actually. Sun shining outside. West Ham are winning. West Ham are top of the table. Arsenal are bottom. England won the cricket. Couldn't really ask for much more the way it's going. Let's hope it stays like that. But anyway, West Ham looking to break. Antonio picks up the ball. He's shadowed everywhere by Chiati today, and Chiati blocks the pass to Bowen, but Bowen does pick the ball up eventually. Thomas Souček on the ball now for West Ham. Plays the ball short to Pablo Fornals in the centre. Another quick pass to Ben Rama. He's got options out wide if he needs them. It's Antonio looks to find Bowen, but the ball is cleared by Palace. Hoofed away 50 yards up the pitch to where Craig Dawson is waiting. And Dawson's made a mistake here, and Benteke's through. This is a real chance for Palace. Benteke looking to profit from this, but he's taken too long, and West Ham have managed to get back. The danger hasn't gone away yet, though, and Zaha has the ball on the edge of the box, plays it back. West Ham have got their defensive shape back now. The ball lofted out to the right where Benteke is waiting again. Cresswell gets in and puts the ball out for a throw-in, but a real chance for Benteke there. I think it was Benteke, but just really fluffed his lines and gave West Ham the opportunity to get back. It was Dawson who made the mistake. I think he thought he'd put the ball out for a throw-in, but Benteke managed to keep the ball in. But fortunately for West Ham, the danger was averted. But it just goes to show you, that this slender lead, it just takes one mistake like that, and Palace can be right back in the game. They are on the ball again, and Zaha has the ball. He curls one, chips one in, and here's a real chance for Palace, and it's in the back of the net. Palace are level. Palace have levelled, and it's, I think it's Benteke who scored. There you go.
Yep, see that coming. I knew it was going to happen. I've been saying it all game. Sorry, I had to disappear. My little one was having a bit of a meltdown there.
No worries, no worries.
Yeah, it's been coming. We can't keep a clean sheet. People are saying about how we need forwards. We need defenders. We need defenders. We cannot keep a clean sheet. And that's, it's not a criticism. We were sitting at the top of the league. But we can't rely. There's going to be games like this that are cagey, where teams are setting up to try and stop us scoring because they know how dangerous we are. And there we go. We've conceded again. You don't do well by winning 4-2, 4-3 and things like that. We can't do that every game. You do well by scraping your 1-0s, but bloody hell, Fab, that. To be fair, the keeper should and could have done much, much better. No.
Yeah, it's kind of I was going to ask you about that, actually. You've been a little bit critical, haven't you, of the way Fabianski's kept going the last couple of games. And I think you might not be the only one who felt that he should have perhaps done better than just slap an arm at it.
That's a howler. In my book, that's a howler. He's flapped at it, and he's completely missed it. It looks like it's come off his thumb. Now, if it's coming off his thumb, he should have had a palm behind that and put it away. So no, of course it's on the defence, but bloody hell, he should have saved that. He should have saved that. If you've got a thumb to it like he did, he should have had his hand behind that ball, and that should have been going wide. He should have saved that 100% in my view.
Steve Palmer says, you remember me talking about tempting fate with a smiley. And Craven Moorhead says, Benteke loves a goal against us and they haven't scored yet, so it was bound to happen. Watch us lose now. Craven calling for Alphonse Areola to start. We've just seen Jared Bowen win the ball back off Wilfried Zaha, deep in West Ham's own territory. And it's all getting a little bit feisty out there at the moment. There's a few challenges going in. I think the Hammers are a bit disappointed, having given that lead away. But, we said it, didn't we, Dio? We didn't. You just can't fancy this West Ham team at the moment. As good as we are going forward and attacking, you still feel there's always, defensively, we're one or two players short at the moment.
No, absolutely. I can't agree more. And when in every game, our last line of defence on the back line, our keeper, has just seemed a bit rusty. He has seemed a bit rusty. And yeah, I'm still boggled how he's not managed to save that. I just don't understand how he's not saved it. I'm a bit flabbergasted. And it's not me digging him out. He's been a very, very good keeper for us, and he has won us points. If it stays like this, though, there's every chance he may have cost us too.
Yes, along with a little bit of lax defending as well, of course. I mean, Palace had a chance, didn't they, just before that, where Dawson kind of fell asleep a little. But anyway, we're at the hour mark. We're 2/3 of the way through. It's West Ham United 1, Crystal Palace 1. The Hammers now have half an hour to find a winning goal against Palace. They've certainly controlled the game so far. Excuse me. But
We
Seafood's
have.
going to hurl a long one into the box, which he does. There's no one underneath it, though, except a yellow shirt, and it's cleared out easily. West Ham, we're struggling a little bit now, aren't we? This, I guess, is where, dare I say it, you'd like to look to the bench, and David Moyes would perhaps like to turn around and say, right, I've got you there and you there to make these changes. But as we know, it doesn't have those options.
I was just about to say the same thing. Now, the time of the game where you're like, okay, this isn't particularly working here. I need to mix it up a bit. Well, what with Lanzini, Yarmolenko, that's our attacking options, and it may well be the lack of depth. And
chance for West Ham. Declan Rice into the box, and it's played off a defender for a corner. Sorry, Dio.
And lack of depth and a keeper that's not as good as he was. That was a nice turn there by Deck, actually. Might well cost us. I'm trying to think that I don't know. I can't see where our goals are going to come from. Mickey's been extremely quiet this game, hasn't he?
He has.
He has been quiet, and that's the thing. You keep him quiet, and then what? Then what? Acknowledge his part in the goal. But he's not been up to his usual standards. I mean, 5 corners to 1. Didn't we have the highest conversion rate from set pieces last season? But towards the end of the season, we didn't seem to be scoring many. We're not taking advantage of these set pieces.
We've not scored a goal Palace again here. Sorry to break in again, Diel, but Ayew has broken down the right-hand side, and Soufal has come across and made a last-ditch challenge to put the ball out for the corner. He's not happy, our Czech right back. He's very, very unhappy at having to come back and do that. But he's done really well because Ayew's got a clear 2 or 3 yard start on him, and he's got back to make the block. But we'll just stick with this for a minute. Yeah, I mean, corners, West Ham have just not really worked for us this year, have they at all? It was almost like hockey, I guess. You have a short corner where it gives you a big advantage. It was a bit like that at times for West Ham last year, but this year it's not been very profitable at all. But anyway, Palace have a corner, 63.5 minutes gone. West Ham United 1, Crystal Palace 1. Gallagher raises his left hand, the number 23, the goal scorer. He drills one into the middle of the area where Benteke rises, I think, gets ahead on it, but it comes to nothing, and West Ham are going to be able to clear, I think. No, the shot comes in again. It's off a West Ham outstretched foot. The shot coming in from MacArthur, and it's another corner to Palace on the other side.
Says Spencer Neal saying we're not on the chat. Not stressed. We have another goal in us, probably 2. I'm not so sure, mate. I'm not so sure. We're not looking particularly dangerous, and I think our discipline and shape is starting to go. We're starting to look a bit at 6s and 7s here. We're finding ourselves not in a position we haven't been this season, because we were against Newcastle, but I fancy that Palace are just a bit better than Newcastle, and of course it being a London derby as well. This is worrying times. Yet another corner for Palace, this time over on the left.
Yeah, I can tell you it's Palace have still got possession. They've taken the corner. They still have possession. It's swung into the centre, looking for Benteke, who rises highest, gets a head on it, but can't find the target, and it's nodded tamely wide and goes out for a goal kick for West Ham. But DL, the Hammer's very much up against it at the moment. It's not been a good second half so far.
No, not at all, which is quite surprising, considering our second halves have been where we've excelled this season. Maybe we've knackered ourselves out already. Who knows? But we don't look like our normal second half if the first 2 games have been anything to go by.
25 minutes.
Squeaky bum time.
Yeah, it feels a bit like that, doesn't it? It's disappointing, isn't it? Because 1-0 up at the break at home in front of a happy crowd, 2 wins out of 2 under your belt. It should. I'm not saying it should be a cakewalk, but you'd expect better. But Palace, whatever Vieira's done, I mean, give him his dues. He's made he's made the changes that have made the difference at half time, and now it's Moyes has got to react now.
Yes, but what can he react with? Lanzini and Yarmolenko. Not exactly spoiled for choice, is he?
West Ham look to attack. The ball's played down the channel to Michail Antonio, who crosses the ball. It beats the keeper, but it's cleared out. I'm sure that was an offside. And indeed. And there we are again. Another example of that crazy new policy of only raising the offside flag when the ball's gone out of play. Michail Antonio clearly offside there. I don't think we really needed to wait. Yeah, we're just seeing a replay and he's about a foot offside, and you could see that from a mile away. But you know, looking at the bench, I mean, as you say, Deal, you know, Lanzini, Yarmolenko. I mean, you know, the only other, well, we haven't got any other attacking players. I mean, you know, you've got Fredericks,
none at all.
Baptiste Diop, Noble, and Coventry, 2 central midfielders. They are our only options. So, you know, I guess unless you're going to get a Yarmolenko scorcher, which sort of maybe comes 2 or 3 times a season if you're lucky, we're reaching a bit, aren't we?
Yeah, we're overstretched. And they're closing us down more. Palace are closing us down considerably more than they were in the first half. They're not giving us any time on the ball. It's from this passage of play that I'm watching now, a little bit behind you, and they've now done it again. They've got the ball back, and they're coming forwards. They look more organised. We look like how Palace did in the first half. Yeah,
that's a really good point. Very good point. I think it's almost like the tables have turned completely. West Ham look at 6s and 7s. Palace look clearly the more team likely to get, dare I say, the next goal in this game.
They do at this moment in time. They do. That goal's woken them up. It's woken them up, and we just look like we don't know what to do.
Spencer Neal says we need to lift our energy and intensity. A couple of points to match Crystal Palace. Michail Antonio could be in here, and he scored. Oh, that's out of the blue. A goal completely out of the blue. There we go. And that's it. And that's why Michail Antonio has done so well. Yeah, can have a game where he's on the periphery for much of it. We've just seen a lovely shot of a little hammer who's jubilant in the stands there. You'll get to see that in a second. It's wonderful. But West Ham are back in front, DL, and
his little face.
Absolutely
well,
brilliant.
What do I know? There we go. Well, what do we know? We were both thinking it was going to be Palace score next, and out of the blue, wallop. So we just end it now.
It's a stroke of luck, isn't it? The ball sort of Anderson has headed the ball against Antonio's head, and it's fell kindly for Antonio. But you know, I mean, even still, there's an awful lot that's got to be done there. He's got to shake off the attentions of the defender. He's still got to find the net. I mean, it's a fantastic strike, and that is a striker very much in form.
It is. It was left footer and all, wasn't it? This one.
It was
indeed. Yeah. Whoa! Have that.
Fantastic. Yeah. Brilliant. I'm still not sure can someone let us know who played the ball over? I didn't see who sent the long ball over the top. If you did see it, do let us know in the live chat, because it'd be nice to see who we can give the assist to. But here we are. We were fearing the worst, and West Ham United are back in front. 69 minutes gone. West Ham United 2, Crystal Palace 1.
I think that may have been Deckers that had played the long ball. It did look like one of his type of balls. I may be wrong. Likely, yeah.
We shall see. Palace have got a chance here, and it's 2-2. Unbelievable.
Oh, fuck. Good.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And it's that man again. It's Gallagher again who scored within a minute of West Ham taking the lead. And this is like we've got our West Ham back, isn't it?
It is. I hope you're watching, Sullivan. I hope you know what we need, mate. You got 3 days.
I think at the moment, the best thing we could do is sign Gallagher, quite frankly, because he's been a revelation in the middle of the park there for Palace. Best player on the pitch in the first half, and he's cropped up, and I think he's only 21, isn't he? Scored 2 goals for Palace and brought them back in the game.
Yeah, the team that hasn't scored all season scores 2 against West Ham United. We knew it was going to happen, didn't we?
Yeah, I mean, for those who haven't got the stream, the ball's coming from the left. Zaha had the ball, played it short inside to a teammate, number 18, I'm not quite sure who that is, who's played the ball inside. Gallagher's turned and left. I think it's Dawson. He's left for, I mean, he's lost Dawson. And it's a very similar goal, actually, to Antonio's first against Leicester last week, where he's picked his ball up kind of with his back to goal. It's a really clever pull back on the inside of his heel. He's just cut it back across Dawson and fired the ball with his right foot into the bottom right-hand corner. Fabianski on this occasion, no chance. But
he's mugged Dawson right off there, isn't
he? He's totally mugged him off. And, you know, we're going to keep coming back to this until the cows come home, I think. But we need more defenders. We need better defenders.
We do. I thought that's to be honest, I thought that second goal was going to deflate Palace. Obviously, it's had the opposite effect, isn't it? They're up for it. They can sense something here.
I mean, you've got to give them credit, haven't you? Because that's, to come from behind twice against a team that have been playing as well as West Ham have, and given their start to the season, it's fantastic for them. Their supporters must be jubilant. And this lad Gallagher, I mean, Chelsea let him go on loan for the season, and really done Palace a turn here so far today.
Yes, we're still top of the league, if that helps.
Well, that's, could be worse, couldn't it?
It could be worse. But no, I don't know. If this stays like this is going to be one of those draws, I think, that's going to feel like a defeat.
Yeah. Just seen Antonio across the ball for the left onto the foot of Fornals, who's tried to volley it from an improbable angle, and not surprisingly gets it all wrong. A little bit of rush of blood to the head there, I think, for Fornals. But it's West Ham still plugging away.
Yeah, that's the astronaut cop one in the face again, isn't it?
But it is another effort. It's a bit much to call that an effort on goal, I think, really. But I suppose we must. And West Ham now have just over 17 minutes to find a winner again.
So Palace.
Yep.
So Palace, I am not.
Do you think
confident.
they'll fancy it? Do you think they'll be up for it, or do you think that at this point they'll be looking at it thinking, well, we've been behind twice. Let's kind of sit on this and settle for the point?
I don't think they will. I think they've seen that they've managed to get 2 goals against us, and they need their first win. They can't. There's 3 games in. If it stays like this, it will be their first point. That's not enough for a team that have got aspirations of not being in the relegation zone or there or thereabouts all season. I think really they're going to want the 3 points more than us.
We've just seen Benteke. I didn't quite catch it because my stream held up for a moment, but Benteke went down with a knock, and then I think it was Bowen went straight over the top of him and probably put a boot in on his left ear. So kind of in the wars a bit there, Benteke. But we're just seeing West Ham defend now. Palace have a free kick some 25 yards from goal, and it's that man Gallagher, I think, lining up again to take it, puts his hands through his long flowing blonde locks, brushes it behind his ear so as not to obstruct his vision. And he's going to be playing one into the edge of the box by the looks of things. But we've got Zaha poised on the right-hand side, looking for perhaps a short one. No, it's gone into the box and it's headed on. And this is a chance for Palace. The ball's in the box. It's a complete scramble. Declan Rice manages to get it clear, but it's only as far as the edge of the box. And it's madness at the moment. But here come West Ham. Said Benrahma's breaking. He's got options inside. He's found Michael Antonio. Antonio looks to play it back to Benrahma, but it's a poor ball. And Palace managed to retrieve possession, and the chance is wasted. 75, just coming up to 75 minutes now. Steve Page saying that Palace must smell blood in the water, and it definitely feels like West Ham again. Definitely does, Steve, doesn't it? Feels a bit like that. Sean West saying, I was with you, DL. I'm sure Palace would score in this game. I'm not quite sure we thought that Palace were good enough for 2 goals, though, DL, but here we are.
I don't think Palace thought they were good enough for 2 goals, to be honest.
Now, it could be 3 the way it's going, because Palace are looking to counter again. Fortunately for West Ham, the ball's gone out of play. Jordan Ayew unable to keep the ball in, and Declan Rice has the ball again for West Ham, deep in West Ham's own territory. Just be interesting to see what the crowd is like now. I'm just turning up the volume a little bit just to see what's going on there, and it seems it's a lot quieter anyway than it was in the first half when it was 0-0. So it's a little bit of that frustration getting around the crowd.
Yeah, I think it is. I've just done the same as you. I turned it up briefly. Who can blame them? Who can blame them? Twice we've led. Twice we've thrown the lead away. I'm not going to slaughter Dawson too much on the goal, and the reason why there is the player just nutmegged him. It was a good bit of skill from the Palace player. It's the first goal that I'm still a bit about because Fabianski should have saved that. He should have saved that. Okay. And if that stayed at 1-0, they wouldn't have got their tails up like they have done ever since. And we know that they say, the first goal's the most important. Well, sometimes it's the opposition's first goal as well that can be the most important part of the game. When they've equalised, they've been since the equaliser, they've been the better team.
West Ham do have a free kick here. Pablo Fornals has been fouled by MacArthur, I think it was, after Wilfried Zaha did his, once again, going to ground a few seconds earlier, throwing his arms in the air, but West Ham have a free kick. It's played short into the centre to Pablo Fornals, who aims one out left, looking for Jared Bowen. Bowen picks up the ball. Chance here for West Ham, but he's tackled by Ayew, and the ball goes out for West Ham. Throwing. Still no sign of any changes though from David Moyes, DL, and we haven't seen any changes from Patrick Vieira either. So unusually, we're at 77 minutes gone, and neither side has made any substitutions yet. We'll just stick with this for a moment because Cresswell has the ball for West Ham. It's another throw in as he plays the ball down the line, and I say that, and it looks like Manuel Lanzini has been given instructions by Kevin Nolan. So it looks like there's our first one. Who do you think is going to come off, DL?
Fornals, I would think.
Okay.
Could be wrong. Either Fornals or Benrahma.
It's Soufal plays the ball across the box. It's a poor ball. Declan Rice nips in, very, very alert to win the ball back. Antonio now has it on the left flank, turns with two players against him, looks for options. There's nothing on, steps over the ball. He'll look to send the ball into the centre, which he's done. It's a deep cross, and it's too far for Jared Bowen, and just rolls aimlessly out in the end for a goal kick for Palace. Yeah, I mean, Fornals and I would say Fornals and Benrahma have been fairly quiet, but no one's really shone, have they? And in fact, it's Jared Bowen who's being replaced by the Bowen making his way to. So I'm quite surprised. I think as surprised as you are about that.
Yeah,
one.
no, I weren't expecting that at all.
Let's try and. So how do we think this is going to pan out? So do we think Fornals is going to perhaps take a more advanced position on the right hand side, and maybe Lanzini comes centrally?
I hope so. Let's see if he can do. I mean, he has got a shot on him. I know he hasn't. He ain't scored for ages though. Spurs goal was his last one, wasn't it?
Might well be.
I think. Yeah. But he can have a goal in him, and his Palace is one of the teams he likes scoring against, isn't it? Just see the clearance that Antonio charged down there. That could have gone anywhere.
Yeah. Well, we need a goal from somewhere. And we're rapidly approaching the final 10 minutes of the game. It's still West Ham United 2, Crystal Palace 2. The Hammers having led twice, but been pegged back twice. Just going back to what you're saying about Dawson, I'm not so sure that he should escape criticism for that second goal. I think a defender of his experience should be a little bit wary of what's coming there. In such a tight area, I think he should be a bit better than that. Who knows? Maybe it's a bit harsh.
Yeah. No, I agree, but you can't discount on that bit of skill there by Gallagher either.
Absolutely. No, it was a great.
Sometimes you just have to nod and think, well, yeah, that was actually that was nice. Yep. You can't fault. You can't fault the Leicester defender last week when Antonio had his back to goal and swung and turned. You just sometimes have to acknowledge it was a good goal. Maybe Dawson could have done a bit better. Maybe he shouldn't have been in that position in the first place to be able to do that. But that's
the point, isn't it? I mean, you're right. That's the point. He shouldn't have been in such an advantageous position in the first place to be able to, and to be given that much time as well.
Yeah,
that close to goal, not good.
But the turn and the shot, I'm not going to pull his pants down too much on that one. It was just a good goal, unfortunately for us.
Yeah, indeed. Well, we're just seeing West Ham break down the right-hand side. Thomas Souček's got the ball near the corner flag, plays it back to Soufal, who swings one into the box. It's nodded clear, and West Ham will look to build again. Soufal plays it into Rice. Rice has possession in the centre of the park, some 35 yards from goal. West Ham looking to build slowly. Palace keeping those defensive lines tight, making sure there's no obvious gaps. Rice has the ball again for West Ham, plays it into Fornals, who plays it out wide to Soufal. Soufal looks to centre. The ball's blocked, and it's out for a throw-in for West Ham. 81 minutes gone, DL.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether it's us playing good or playing poorly, or Palace just ain't letting us play. The stats in the first half were quite telling, with the amount of misplaced passes we made, non-completed.
Yeah,
I think our pass completion rate was only something like 70 or 75%. It needs to be higher than that. Declan's been quiet today. He's not had his usual commanding midfield performance. I just have to put it down as one of those days, really.
Yeah. Dear, we're over to you now for updates because my feed has gone down completely. It's up to you to keep us up to date. West Ham were just about to take a corner when.
Yeah, mine's just gone as well. So I'm trying to refresh the page here. I think the corner must have just been a boo-boo, because I've just seen Palace taking a goal kick. We got Souček on the ball, now passed it to Dawson. This is in our own half. He's played it out to our right. Long ball down the line, and the Palace players just nodded it out for a throw into West Ham over on the far side.
Okay, I'm back again. Unfortunately, that was a worrying 30 seconds looking at a black screen.
It worried me, you threw that on me then.
8 minutes left to go. Just into the 83rd minute, beginning the 83rd minute. It's still 2-2. Lanzini wins the ball for West Ham. And the Hammers looking to build again. I kind of get a sense now that Palace are kind of sitting back, DL, and just hoping to soak up the pressure. We haven't really seen any attacking intent from them, have we, in the last sort of 10 minutes or so?
No. They're respecting the point. We've got a throw in down by the corner flag now. And Antonio to Ben Rama. Declan Rice coming forwards centrally. And, what's this going on here? No, Palace have got it. They've cleared their lines.
Well, where are you on your stream, dear? What time are you on?
83:27.
Oh, you're well ahead of me then, because I'm still on 82:58. So
the ball's now with Lanzini. We're coming forward. He's played it in central to Ben Rama. Now that he's played a short pass to Declan Rice, who is doing a diagonal ball over to Cresswell over on the left. And that's now gone out for a goal kick. That looked like that should have been a corner. I'm pretty certain that should have been a corner. But no, it's Crystal Palace free kick, goal kick.
It looks like Dawson's taken some pelters from various sections following that second goal. Steve Palmer on the live stream saying, as much as I like Dawson's attitude, no, he's not good enough for where we want to be. And Joe Mitchell saying Les Dawson will play better. On the KUMB forum, it's Sticky who's putting the boot in, saying that Dawson was mugged again. Not sure if he felt he was culpable for the first goal too, but maybe that's a reference to last week. But NW Hammer also saying, I can't actually repeat what he's saying because it's full of expletives, but suffice to say he's not particularly happy with the defending of Dawson for that second goal. And Chapo also saying that Gallagher mugged off Dawson there. Palace, looks like we've got some changes, DL.
Yeah, looks like they're going to be making some substitutions from where I am. Sorry, I was just catching up on the forum as well. Can't see who they're bringing on. Is that Kuyate who's coming off? So we're getting Yarmolenko on.
Okay.
Let's see what our little Ukrainian can do. He ain't little, is he? He's a bit of a lump, let's be honest.
Well, we need a bit of magic from him, don't we?
We do. We could do with one of his wand of a left foot screamers. Going slightly off topic, but I think he could be very handy for us in Europe this season. More his style of game.
Yes, there it is. Who did he replace, Steele? Because you're ahead of me on the stream.
He's not on yet. He's still waiting. Ball's now gone out of play for a throw-in to us, I think. And he's replacing Fornells.
Okay, so yeah, it looks like Moyes is going with a slightly more attacking option.
Yes,
as we approach the final 2 or 3 or 3 or 4 minutes of the game. West Ham need a goal.
We do need
Steve
a goal
Palmer said-
indeed.
We certainly do. Get the feeling we might be having to settle for a point here this afternoon. But I mean, you know, in terms of what we've seen, the way West Ham have played, if you look at the game as a whole, deal is a point a bad result here?
No, I don't think it is. It's a disappointing result. Don't get me wrong, but the performance itself's been disappointing. Oh, what we got going here? Yarmolenko's in the box and he shoots. Oh, and that is about 2 foot over, but he had sight of goal. We've just got a little over 3 minutes plus stoppage time to go. Yeah, he got into his favoured position. He's got it onto his left foot, and it's just a couple of feet over the bar there. But he had sight of goal.
Yeah.
Positive.
Yes.
Positive.
I'm just waiting for that chance to happen on my stream now. I've just seen, I think it's Declan Rice. It's gone again. Having a dreadful experience with the with the feed here this afternoon, which is kind of typical.
Yes, I'm not having the best experience either, because mine's just got a bit doolally as well, and I've now got to try and find the tab again.
Well, on my stream anyway, if we're just seeing Palace look to make a change, Vieira issuing instructions to, can't quite see who that is at the moment there, but the change is being made. It's we're in the 88th minute.
Yep, yeah, I think he's going now for the late time wasted substitutions. He's gonna be much happier with this result than we are. No
question. MacArthur is the player coming off, and it's Schlupp who is replacing him. As I say, it's just over 2 minutes or so left to go. It's still West Ham United 2, Crystal Palace 2. Is there a winner in this game? Let's hope. If so, it's going to be for West Ham. I don't know how far you are,
but we've got Palace on the attack now. The ball's with Benteke. It's just been hit up against Declan Rice's shins. Declan seems to have a bit of half-heartedness about him today, which is very much unlike him.
Yes, it is. Although saying that, I mean, a lot of people said he was very quiet, didn't they, in the first half at Newcastle, but really came into his own after the break up there.
Yeah, he's not done that today. He could have. Declan Rice can be bothered, and I don't like to say this about Declan, because he is an absolute, using the most common superlative of a Rolls Royce of a player. You know, that pass between two Palace players, then he just half-heartedly stuck his leg out. Declan on form would have got that ball as well. You know, it's maybe heads are dropping because we conceded so quick. I don't know, but we just don't seem to be our normal selves. I'm not just going to put it on Declan. It's everybody. Everybody seems to be having an off day of. I don't know. Maybe they like to be somewhere else, and I don't mean another club. Maybe putting their feet up somewhere instead.
I guess in some way, Dale, you could argue that we have very much been ourselves, given the results we've had against Palace at home in the last couple of years. We've not beaten them, at home. I think in the last 2 seasons, we were saying before the game, and unless there's some very late drama here, it looks like we're going to have to go away with a point again here this afternoon. I don't know. The way Palace are trying to come forwards, I wouldn't be surprised. We're just hitting the 90 hour. I've not seen the ball go up for how much time added on. No, I don't think it's been 4 minutes. 4 minutes added time. Okay, so plenty of time for either side to grab a decisive winner. Yep. Let's see what happens. And Rice has just committed the foul on Ayew just by the edge of the box. And he's also picked himself up a yellow card for his troubles. First one of the day, I think. First booking of the day. Which I guess gives some indication of just how referees are letting these games flow a little bit more this season. You know, that was for a fullback. And I think to top things off, I think Deck has hurt himself doing so as well. I mean, I'm looking at that. I think that's a dive from IU. Reflection.
If you see the other angle, Deck's pulling him back. He's got his arm across.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
All right. I'm just seeing that now. Oh, no, I'm not. No. I'm not having that at all. He is. Yeah, initially there's contact, but IU makes at least 2 steps before he decides that he's going to go down. I think the ball's going away from me. I'm not having that at all. I think Atwell's got that one wrong, and I think Gnome's going to be telling us after the match that he's got that one wrong. But we'll see what happens.
Also, although it didn't connect, I think it might have also been for the high boot. It just a combination of everything. The high boot as well. Yeah. He's swung his leg out at him. He's pulled him back. You know, he's committed about 3 fouls in the one motion there, isn't he? So
yeah, fair enough. I think he was fairly determined not to let him pass, wasn't he? Gallagher again with a free kick though. Oh,
it's come to nothing. We're now 91, just about to hit the 92nd minute. It's a long ball forwards, and Antonio's won the ball, but it's gone straight back to Kuyate. And as the commentators just said, it's Palace that are looking more likely.
To be fair, they should be ahead. That's a superb free kick, and from the man of the match by far, Gallagher, and Benteke has really fluffed his lines there. I mean, what's he 7-8 yards from goal, and free header, and he's put it over the bar. Inexplicable.
Yes, I think I'm still ahead of you. They're with 92-37 on mine.
Yeah,
they're building up over on our left-hand side. Their left-hand side, sorry, with Zaha. And it's been nicked off his toe by Yarmolenko, of all people. He's actually over on... Oh, no, he's on his right, isn't he?
I mean, I guess, DL, you know, we're rapidly approaching the final whistle now, inside the final minute. You know, if this doesn't send a signal out to David Sullivan that David Moyes needs reinforcements defensively, and you know, you've got to ask what will, because I mean, this is a game that you're leading at home twice.
Hang on. We've now got Antonio running up, and if he had just played that ball just a second later, then Ben Rama would have been through there. And I think Antonio's. He's put his arm up. He's apologised to Ben Rama. It was just too close to the keeper.
Yeah. And just seeing that now. I mean, it's well, I'm not actually Palace. I'm so far behind you. It's are we at full timing?
93-52 as things stand on my bit. No, unfortunate.
It's a shame. I've just seen it now, and to be fair, is that it?
I think that's it. Yeah, game over. 2-2. Sorry, tell a lie. It's not over, is it? No, it's no. They're time wasting now. He's bouncing along his penalty area with a ball in his hand, thrown it on the floor, and he's doing nothing with it. He's going to kick it, and I think that's it. Yeah, that was the last bit of the game.
Okay.
2-2.
There it is. The final whistle has gone at the London Olympic Stadium, and it has finished West Ham United 2, Crystal Palace 2. The Hammers ahead twice, taking the lead in the 38th minute from Pablo Fornals, giving West Ham the advantage at the half-time interval, but Palace striking back 12 minutes after the restart. Gallagher scoring from close range. We felt perhaps Lucas Fabianski might have done a little bit better. We'll be discussing that in due course. West Ham regained the lead after 68 minutes when, out of nowhere, actually, Palace were on top, and a long ball with it. I think it was from Declan Rice, found Michail Antonio, who did extremely well to hold off his man after a little bit of luck, winning the ball, but a fantastic finish from Antonio to the left-hand side to give West Ham a 2-1 lead. But we'd barely finished celebrating. That poor little lad who was going absolutely bonkers, the West Ham fan, after Antonio's goal, had probably not even sat down before Gallagher struck again, leaving Dawson for dead. turning on a sixpence inside the 6-yard box and finishing from close range to score, make it 2-2, and earn Palace what might have seemed at times an unlikely point. What's your instant summary on the final whistle there, Dio, having seen that?
You say an unlikely point. I was expecting this to be the game where our 100% record went.
Yeah.
I maintained we would not keep a clean sheet, and quite concerningly as well. What's that now? We've got the same goal difference, but our goals against is racking up. That's 5 goals in 3 games we've let in. And I think that, ladies and gentlemen, shows you where the problems in this squad lie. We need defenders. We need defenders. And I think as well, it will be time. I can't remember who we've got next. International break, obviously. So we might be forced changes there, depending on how that goes. But I think it might be time to give the new fella a running goal, because that first, we would have won that if that first goal hadn't gone in. Pretty sure of it. And Fabian's could have done so much better. He had hands like a lettuce.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of, we just, I mean, you called it, I think, early on in the second half. In those opening 2 games against Newcastle and Leicester, we've been fantastic in the second half of both games. Looked at, a class apart. It was the other way around today. First half, we shone. We looked the better team. The second half, you've got to give it to Palace. I mean, they and in the end, that header from Benteke, it should have been the winning goal. They should have scored. They should have been going away with all 3 points.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I'm going to have to disagree with you that we shone in that first half. I thought we looked pretty ordinary in the first half. I think that Palace were a little bit less ordinary than us. I don't think we done particularly much. We had just the 1 shot on target, which it counted because it was 1-0.
Yeah,
but I don't think we've played particularly well at all in either half in this game. I don't know. Maybe we underestimated Palace. Maybe we thought our heads weren't in it. Maybe we thought we just had to turn up. I don't know. But I think throughout the 90 minutes, it was a pretty lacklustre performance. But we still scored 2 goals. The thing that's done us again is letting in too many.
Yeah, I mean, you score twice at home in any Premier League game, and you've got to fancy yourself to win the game, haven't you? But
yeah, I mean, absolutely.
You've called it absolutely spot on there. 5 goals conceded in 3 games. If it wasn't for the fact that we'd scored 10, you'd be worrying. It's poor. And Kurt Zouma, we're assuming that the Zouma deal is, we're just waiting for that to be announced now. It looks like everything's been done, and we're just waiting for that to, really for the unveiling on the club's website. But is that going to be enough? Do we need more? Do we need? I mean, fullbacks. The link with Pellegrini of Juventus emerged this morning. There was rumours that we've approached Juventus with view to taking him on a season-long loan. But how many do we need at the back of the deal? Is Zouma going to be enough?
I don't think it's going to. If Bonner can stay fit, then yes, that's going to be enough. But he's starting to get on a bit. He's 33, which some people will say is a good age for a defender.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, he does pick up the odd knock and niggle every now and again. I'd be interested to know what's actually going on with Diop. I'm not one of these who think we should get him out the door. I've always rated him. He was in fine form before we stopped for COVID. He's had COVID. Now, whether he's struggling to get fitness back or whatever, that's, I don't think anybody knows that. He is prone to switch off. Don't get me wrong, but he's a good tackler. He's not as bad in the air as I think people make out on the forum. I don't think he's a bad defender at all. And he's still a good age. At the end of the day, people are saying that, 33 defenders should be in their prime. Well, the geezer's 9 years off of that, give him a chance. Defenders do improve as they get older. Zouma and Diop, I think, would be our defensive partnership going forward. And I think it would be a very good partnership. At the moment, it looks like it may well be Zuma and Ogbonna. But every now and again, something strange happens in a season, doesn't it? Where you have to make an enforced change.
Yep.
So who knows? We may stumble upon our best centre back partnership if Zuma comes. I mean, it's not guaranteed yet. We may stumble upon it. Should one of our centre backs get injured?
Okay. Well, we are going to make an enforced change of our own right now, because joining us live on the stream from the London Olympic Stadium, or just outside by the looks of it, is our man on the spot. Gnome has been watching the game inside the stadium this afternoon. Gnome, West Ham United 2, Crystal Palace 2. What are your initial thoughts upon emerging from the stadium there?
You hear me okay, firstly?
Yeah, we're good. You're fine.
That's fine, yeah. Okay. 2 points dropped against the team that's going to struggle this season, I think. Very poor in the defensive lapse situation there.
Yep.
Very disappointing. Sorry. Yeah, very disappointing.
Gnome seems to have gone into freeze mode again.
He's become a Dalek.
No, we've got you back. Sorry,
okay,
no.
Got me.
Yeah, we've got you back again now. As Neil said, you went into Dalek mode for a moment there, but you're loud and clear again. Please carry on.
Yeah. Okay. Declan, I thought had an off day today, as did the aimless passing to Cresswell of a few years ago. People made a return. We just sort of lost momentum. We lost some of the passing was shocking in the second half, which as good as it had been in the first, and get the way back to station. But yeah, I mean, I guess we were spoiled the last 2 games a little bit.
Yes.
But no, I mean, you get 2-2 draw against somebody that's going to be doing something this season. You think one thing, but you can't help feeling that. That's definitely
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that definitely seems to be the view from everyone who's been commenting so far. Anyway, that you lead twice against at home against any team really, and you should be looking to take all 3 points. So very disappointing. Did anyone really stand out for you from West Ham today, or did you feel like we did that there was a general malaise over the entire team?
Yeah, I think there's a general sort of malaise. I thought Antonio probably the pick of a bunch. Ben Rama, apart from his part of the first goal, was largely anonymous, I thought.
Yeah.
It's as I say, if we have an off day like that against somebody good, we'll get beat, sort of thing. So I guess if you're having an off day, have it against Palace where you'll get a draw out of it. But clutching at straws for something there, really. But, it's a point. Not sure what that does for us in the league table, but we had our week in the sun, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, just specifically touching on the Palace goals, there was a bit of disagreement over the second one. A lot of people felt that Dawson was really poor, but others saying that it was just an extremely clever turn and finish by Gallagher, who I think we can all agree on was outstanding today for Palace in both halves.
Well, second half anyway, perhaps, but it's difficult because it was a good turn and all that. But I thought that defensively, to allow the ball to get through him in the first place was where we faltered there. I think there seemed to be a problem down on that right hand side. Again, against Leicester, the first sort of 15, 20 minutes, our right hand side worried a bit. Till the wheels fell off for Leicester, but. I didn't think Dawson had a good game today as well. I mean, there were too many off days.
Yeah, there was. I think that's the point, isn't it? Just too many players not attaining the same heights they'd reached previously. We're joined also by Pinky now, coming at us from the looks like the posh seats once again. What's your view on that one, Pinky? Looking back, I mean, we thought we should have really gone on and you know, made good that half-time lead, but it didn't turn out that way, did it? Palace pulled it back twice and really should have won it at the end with that header from Benteke.
Yeah, I think ultimately, you know, how often are we as West Ham United supporters going to sit here after a game when we're top of the table and be disappointed? You know, I mean, this is probably what it feels like to be a Man City fan these days. You know, we're top and we're disappointed because we've not put another team to the sword. And I felt we let this one get away from us today. I mean, to let one, you know, the first lead go is bad enough. But to let a lead go twice in a 90-minute match is, I won't use the word unforgivable, but it's unfortunate to say the least. I think we took our foot off the gas a little bit. You know, weren't quite positive enough when we needed a bit more. And you've got to say, when you're seeing the likes of Yarmolenko coming on as the second change, as your game changer, the game's up really, because we know he isn't quite good enough to do what we need him to do. And I'm afraid, you know, without being too negative, you know, because we are sitting top of the table, we're back to the old squad depth again. And the manager's looking to his bench to say, well, what have I really got there to go and win me something? You know, what I would say in the second half, Antonio's goal, absolutely sensational finish. That's as good as a finish or a strike of a ball as you'll ever see in this ground if you come here for the next 94 years. I mean, being no doubt, he buried that. And for a player that actually isn't a striker, he had an absolutely awesome game this afternoon, Mikel Antonio. I thought he dominated the game. I thought at our end of the pitch, Craig Dawson generally was pretty solid, had a good match. But, you know, Palace, dare I say it, they're a bit of a bogey team at the minute, and they did just enough. I mean, I don't think anyone's fooled by Crystal Palace. If you want to see the definition of a long, hard season, you watched it this afternoon, and it's Crystal Palace. Okay.
Good stuff. Just want to go back to the first goal. No, let me bring you back on this one, if I may, briefly, because you know, we looked at DL was kind of concerned about Fabianski. Felt that, of course, you've only seen it once, and maybe on the odd replay, you haven't seen it time and time again like we have close up. But you know, we felt that perhaps Fabianski should have done a little bit better with the shot. What did you make of it?
Yeah, you've got the advantage of me there because, as you say, I only seen it once.
Yeah.
Didn't see where the shot went in relation to Fabianski. So I can't really comment on that one.
Okay.
I'm not really used to use it.
Okay, no worries, no worries. I'm gonna bring DL in to take over because I'm asking all the questions here. DL, let's go to Gnome first. I mean, what would you like to ask Gnome about what we've seen today?
Well, what was the general consensus around the ground? What was the atmosphere like? Obviously, when we're doing this, we don't really have the volume on the streams, so we didn't get any idea at all. What was it from where you were sitting?
Pretty much what I said. It was sort of frustrating that as Pete said, foot was off the gas, and that, you know, there was a game where second half we should have been coming out the second half and looking at really tearing them a new one. We did. Foot was off the gas. We thought we had the game won. I mean, they probably had, 3 shots in the game?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
It wasn't a lot, especially on target. With the Fabianski comment that Graham made, top of Fabianski's thumb did get to the ball. And if he's getting his thumb to the ball in that position, he should be getting his hand behind the ball, was my argument.
Yeah,
he should have done better and made the save.
I'll have a proper sort of comment on that after tonight when we get back and watch it. As I say, you have the advantage of me, and it just went in as far as we're concerned. I mean, you've obviously seen it a bit close tonight, and disappointing anyway. But it is a general sort of disappointment.
I wonder if Pinky has had the opportunity to see the first goal that we conceded yet. If he's seen any replays.
Pinky, that one's for you. I don't know if you can hear us.
He looks like he's asleep.
I think he's frozen too.
Yeah, I mean, biggest complaint for me bit too much for me at the minute. And I'm afraid I might be looking to make the change and bring Areola in, whatever his name is, to start the next game. You might think that's very harsh on Fabianski, but I felt in the last game there was a goal we conceded where, not the last game, maybe the Newcastle game, where he was stood pretty much rock solid still.
Yeah.
And between him and the centre back, we just let the opposition score. So, for my money, I think Fabianski might be due a bit of a rest.
Absolutely.
Just a view. Anyway, the background noise is probably a bit too much at the minute, so I'm going to say adios from here. We are top of the league, and if we think things are hard, just bear in mind, Manchester United drew us in the League Cup and immediately made a panic buy of Cristiano Ronaldo. That's how big West Ham United are. Yeah, come on, you Irons. See you soon.
Well, there you go, buddy. Good to have you with us. Interesting. Just looking at the forum quickly, 61 Dixie saying that Fabianski's starting to move like an old man. Him getting down for one of their goals seemed like slow motion. Needs a bit of bench time. So kind of backing up what you're saying there. Was there any, no, coming back to quickly before you shoot off, was there any sort of concern in the stands about that to the first goal? Any worries about Fabianski? I think we've lost. No,
we either lost him, but he's on mute anyway.
Okay, I mean he was signalling just before that. I think he had to go, so maybe we'll get Gnome. Oh no, he's back. Hey, Gnome.
Yeah. You just said you just started to talk to me and everything froze, so I'm back again.
I was just asking you. You know, we were talking with Pinky about that first goal there. That you know, we felt perhaps Fabianski could have done better with. Was there any concern in the stands about it? You know, anyone moaning about Fabianski?
No, I mean, again, it's possibly because when you see it and you see the replays and you see things that you can analyse it a little bit more, we just sort of go in. So, I would say that apart from anything else, she did have a good long rest in the first half, so she
yeah. But I mean, overall, bit of a disappointment, really. You know, we kind of. Do you think that was sort of like the West Ham of old coming back a little bit, whereby you know we've gone out and done it again, done it at a ground that we traditionally do poorly at, and i.e. St James's Park. We've performed fantastically against Leicester, one of the you know the better teams in the division. Here we are against the side that, as you said, I think right at the top of the game on paper you'd be expected to beat, and you know once again West Ham have come up short, and as we have done so often over the years.
Yeah, those kids who this is their third game, they'll begin to learn, won't they? Just what you said at half time, it's couldn't quite bring myself to say this is done and dusted, and 50 odd years of experience through me right. So, but yeah, it's West Ham, isn't it?
It is. But I mean, you know, that's the final game now before the transfer window closes. What do we need before Tuesday?
What's the latest on Zuma anyway? What's the latest on Zuma?
Well, we're still waiting for it to be confirmed. There's still no confirmation as far as we understand. It's pretty much done and dusted, but still nothing from the club. So we're hoping he's coming in. But would that be enough for you in terms of defensive reinforcements, or do we still need more?
What we need and we're going to get is obviously two different things here. I'd like to see another one, but
yeah,
it looks like all the defensive eggs are going to be into the basket. It's, as Frankie said earlier on, when we needed something to create sparks, to do something different.
Yeah.
When you looked on the bench, it was Yarmolenko. Okay, to be fair, occasionally has come on and put it on, but it's the Yarmolenko and Lanzini really. I'm always worried when I see it and say, at the end of the game, make sure it's walking off properly in those hands. Because anything else to win, we're stuck.
Yeah, I mean, DL made exactly the same point during the second half when we were, you know, we approached the last 15, 20 minutes. And, you know, and we were looking at the bench and DL was saying, well, all you've got there is Lanzini and Yarmolenko. And that's it. I mean, the rest, Coventry, Noble, central midfielders, the rest defenders. And you know, even Lanzini and Yarmolenko, they're great players in their day. But have any of us got any faith in them to really come on and change a game, you know, like we need to?
yeah, I mean, Lanzini, sometimes it's just too much to do. And again, I don't know what time of the stuff made they work exactly.
Well, it was Yarmolenko came on after 87 minutes, I think it was, and Lanzini was 78. So, we waited until 12 minutes before the end for the first.
Yeah. So, again, 12 minutes, if you need a game change, it just gives you some time to do it. It's, it's a traditional voice thing, isn't it? But,
yeah. Talking about the players that were on... Sorry, no. Talking about the players that started the game, DL... LTEL 1010 on the live chat asks, do you think Dawson is being found out a bit? What do you think about that, DL? Do you think that maybe we've seen the best of Dawson, or is it just a one-off today?
Oh, found out. I don't think there's a lot to find out about Dawson. He's an old-fashioned body on the line defender, isn't he? Ask him to do the tricky stuff and whatever, and he's another James Collins who time and time again, we absolutely loved him.
Yeah.
But he always had a game like Dawson's had today. I think Dawson gets a little bit harsh. It's not his fault that he's not a proper ball playing modern defender. He's old school. He's the defensive equivalent of an Andy Carroll.
Yeah.
And he's a dying breed at the end of the day. I'm not going to criticise him because he's not a modern defender per se. I'm not going to criticise him because of a little bit of magic. And I will say it was a little bit of magic from Gallagher. That was a superb goal. I've watched it over and over again. Mm-hmm. And you could argue that he shouldn't have been in the position in the first place, but replay that goal. That was a deft touch from him, a lovely turn, and an absolute beauty of a shot. If that was Antonio that had done that, we'd be jumping for joy and saying how wonderful the goal was. It was a good goal. Sometimes you just cannot legislate for that at all.
Fair enough. I mean, I guess the point here, isn't it, that when we signed Dawson, he was here as our fourth choice defender behind Ogbonna, behind Diop, behind Balbuena as well. And now here we are in a position where, because we've lost Balbuena, because Diop's form has dipped for whatever reason in recent months, he's now our first choice defender. And I guess Dawson was never intended to be that, was he? He was never expected to be playing week in, week out. But for whatever reason, that's exactly where we are.
So was that aimed at me, right?
It was, sir. It was.
Yeah, sorry.
Attention.
No, sorry. I was just detained at the stop go. Yeah, he's done a job so far for us, but we shouldn't sort of try and blame him as Neil said for something that he ain't. And one thing I would say though is that the finish was a bit. My concerns was the way that all was allowed to go in there in the first place. Yeah, you can't legislate the finish, and I appreciate that, but you can look at the build up to it, and I thought we were very much lucky in that.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think any of our defensive six had a particularly good game, and when I say the defensive six, I include our defensive midfielders in that. Souček was pretty quiet. Declan had an off game, and it happened. But at the end of the day, if you've got your two central midfielders having an off day, and then you've got a couple of defenders having an off day, and a geriatric goalkeeper whose agility is now of a rusty spring, you're on hiding for nothing. 5 goals in 3 games, it's not particularly good, and not all of that is Craig Dawson's fault, which is unfortunately seems to be the way the narrative is going on social media and the forum, and I think it's unfair and it's unjust. At least the entire bigger picture needs to be looked at. When you've got Dawson as the last man, you have to start questioning the central defenders, your central midfielders, and the rest of your defence, because it shouldn't have been there in the first place.
No, and perhaps also the transfer policy of the club that means he's playing week in, week out, I guess. Isn't that always the way, though, DL, that, a scapegoat has to be found? I guess that's the way of football today. It just turns out that way. I think, I mean, you're absolutely right, of course. I mean, Dawson, whether he made a mistake or not, the fact that, the ball was in that position, got to that place, was not Dawson's fault. It was a sequence of events that occurred prior to that, or didn't occur prior to that put West Ham in that position. But anyway, I'm sure that discussion will go on and on throughout the night and beyond. But shall we just take a quick look at results elsewhere this afternoon? Because as we said, West Ham went into the day top of the Premier League with maximum 0.6 from 6. It was a question of whether we could stay there or not. Well, we saw Arsenal humiliated pretty much by Man City at lunchtime earlier in the day, smashed 5-0 by the citizens up at the Emirates, Man City's Emirates, I should say, not Arsenal's Emirates. A game in which Arsenal played with 10 men for much of it. Gnome's giving me the finger. I'm just going to...
You mean yes, it had, mate?
Yes, I'm doing it again, aren't I? This is the second time.
Austria, Vienna, Salzburg, same difference.
I'm having a week of it. I do apologise. The Etihad, not the Emirates. You're going back on mute anyway. But Newcastle held to a 2-2 draw with Southampton, which I'm sure won't please anyone north of Sunderland. Brighton beaten at home by Everton 2-0. Good result that for the Toffees, given that Brighton was second in the table before today. West Ham, as we know, drew 2-2 with Palace. Norwich beaten at home by Leicester 2-1, which is a pretty valiant effort, I suppose, for the new boys. And in the other game today, Aston Villa being held to a draw by Brentford. Brentford, of course, led in that one. The upshot, of course, deal, of course, is that West Ham are still top of the Premier League after everything today. So could be a lot
yes,
worse.
Indeed. I mean, if Liverpool and Chelsea draw, we're top of the league again tonight. I don't know who Tottenham got tomorrow.
I was just going to say that Tottenham haven't played yet this week. They've got Watford at 2:00 tomorrow afternoon at 3 Point Lane. So you probably expect them to win that one. But anyway, I mean, whatever happens, we're going to be in a Champions League position. I think that's safe to say coming into the weekend.
But to be honest, I'd actually take us losing top spot tonight with a resounding Liverpool or Chelsea win, so that Tottenham cannot go top should they win tomorrow.
Yeah, I guess we'd all take that. I mean, you'd expect Spurs to beat Watford, wouldn't you? But be an interesting one, Chelsea Liverpool tonight. See what happens. Of course, there is a bit of a break now before West Ham United's next game. Before we do that, let's just have a quick look at the stats from today. Possession. Dio, I know you've got some quite detailed stats as well, haven't you? But I'm just
not at the moment. I haven't.
Okay.
No.
Well, maybe we'll come back to those in a minute. I'll give you the basic stuff anyway.
Yes.
Possession-wise, West Ham 46% to Crystal Palace's 54. West Ham 14 shots on goal. 8 of those were in the first half. 4 on target. Only 1 of those was on target in the first half. Palace 9 shots on goal, only 1 of which was in the first half, and 2 on target. So Palace clearly the better side numerically, as well as in terms of goals scored in the second 45. West Ham 5 corners to Palace's 3. West Ham committed 10 fouls to Palace's 6, though I expect Palace might argue that West Ham committed a few more than that, given the amount of arguing that was going on throughout the game with referee Stuart Atwell. West Ham have a bit of a break now before the next game, which is, of course, Southampton away down on the south coast there on the 11th of September. There's a few international games. We still don't know whether Michail Antonio is going to be playing for Jamaica before that. We're still waiting for confirmation. But then it's it's a flurry of games for West Ham, isn't it? It's 7 games in 22 days. Gnome, are you still with us? I think we might have lost. No, he's still here.
Yeah. I'm surrounded by very tall buildings, so it's the signal sort of struggling to get through.
Okay, well, let's stick with you for now anyway. But Southampton next up after the international break. What do we make of that one?
I think asking after the international break, I want to make sure that we come back with no all our players come back with no injuries first. But it's a minor blip today. I mean, we're all sort of disappointed. Yeah, go away. It's a good time to have a break when you go something like that, because you're not, you're concentrating on the international side most of the team.
Yeah.
And, you're sitting and concentrating on that. You can come back and get back to
we've lost you.
I can still hear you.
Okay, no, there was awful lot of cracking. We couldn't hear you for a minute there, but
I'm just at Stratford International now, so
okay.
You got me for about 3 or 4 minutes, but
okay.
Yeah, I mean it's a good time to have the break after that, because it means, to say, most players will be away with the international sides. And concentrate on that, take their mind off the fact that they didn't play well in the second half in this one.
Yeah, okay.
That's good anyway, yeah.
All right, okay. DL, I mean, no said it there. You know, it's we don't know how everyone's going to come back from that international break. Hopefully, everyone will still be fit and ready to go. But of course, we've got the transfer window to come between now and then. So it's difficult to know what sort of side we're going to be putting out. Assuming Kurt Zuma, assuming we get that one over the line before Tuesday, you'd expect Zuma to perhaps be lining up against Angelo Ogbonna. What sort of proposition is Southampton these days, as far as you're concerned?
Have they still got that Ralph Husson bloke as their manager?
They have, yes.
They have. Well, I think David Moyes has, since he's been back, has pretty much scored him, hasn't he? Every time we've played them.
Yeah.
It's. I don't want to run ahead of myself, obviously, and be too confident. But you know, when you just get sometimes it's not about the two teams; it's about the two managers, and he seems to have this Ralph bloke's number. And I can't see him out Moyesing Moyes. It's the same sort of thing as Brendan Rodgers against Moyes. It's just one of those things, isn't it, that they just can't seem to beat him. And I think this, I'd like to think we'd win. It depends on, as Gnome said, who comes back from international duty and whether we've picked up any injuries. Again, it depends on who, if anybody, we sign in the next 3 to 4 days, even. At the moment, I'm not particularly confident of, how can I put it? Not our defence per se. I think he needs to be putting Areola in for the next game.
Yep.
He's got a relatively young 6'7" goalkeeper who, from what I've seen, is extremely agile, and I think that would have stopped one, maybe even just 2 goals that Fabianski's let in this season. Now, I'm not saying Areola's a perfect keeper; he's not. There is no such thing. However, I think that our goal difference would probably be round about +7 rather than +5 if we played him from the start. And I do get why Moyes has stuck with Fabianski. He's got the jersey; it's his to lose. And you do wonder whether, I don't know, whether his focus has shifted, whether Fabianski's concentration has shifted, because he has got somebody breathing down his neck. Maybe, it can't be easy knowing that you're a goalkeeper that's in, how old is he now? 34, 35, is he?
36, I think now, yeah.
Oh, is he really? That's older than I thought. He knows he's got this young upstart that's a very good goalkeeper, breathing down his neck. And I don't know, maybe that's affecting his performance. It's going to be a self-fulfilling prophecy. But then he didn't have that last season. And, he was doing similar last season as well. The one that sticks out most in my mind is the Liverpool game, where he had an absolute shocker. It's age catching up with him. And it's not, I've mentioned it in all 3 games so far this season. And I've not got the knives out for Fabianski. He's done a very good job for us since he's been here. But, you can't stay at that level forever. Same as Mark Noble, he's now playing a big part. He was central to our midfield once upon a time, but age catches up with players. And there are times where you need to think, okay, I do need to give somebody else a chance. It was hidden in the first 2 games because we scored 4 goals. Yeah. We didn't score 4 goals today. and we've conceded 2, and we've not taken a home win. And this isn't arrogant. I'm not being arrogant about this. I'm not being arrogant about it. We should be doing, with the team we've got and the way we played, we should have beaten Crystal Palace today. That first goal, I will maintain until the day I die, that first goal he should have saved. Now, whether we would have gone on to score a second or whether they would have equalised, I can't, I can't say that for definite.
Yeah.
But we would have stood a better chance of winning the game if we hadn't conceded that goal. And I knew we was going to concede a goal today, and it was 2.
Yeah.
So
unfortunate. We're gonna bid farewell, I think, now to Gnome, who's just about to go into the dark depths of the underground. So we're going to lose him anyway. So I just want to say, Gnome, thank you for joining us. Much appreciated, and have a safe journey. And just a shame we're not celebrating another win tonight.
Yeah, it's I'm going on the high speed from past up at Edgewood, not straight down to Hampshire. It's a way of getting up and down. Brave the kids around the back and stuff. Yeah, so thanks very much.
All right, buddy.
I'll see you in a couple of weeks.
We will do.
that
We will
thinks
do.
the Wi-Fi on the high speed is very good.
All right, buddy. You take care. You take care. We'll see you soon. Right, there you go. Ta-ra. There you go. So that's Gnome and the Pink Palermo reporting live for us from the London Olympic Stadium this afternoon. I haven't heard from Rio since the final whistle. Rio, if you're out there, I hope you're okay. Feel free to jump on for a couple of minutes if you like before we end. And we are going to wrap up fairly soon because it's not so much fun talking about a game, is it? When you haven't won it, it was we could have spoken for hours after Leicester last week, but I just want to go and have a drink now.
Interesting stat from the BBC.
Yes.
Antonio, after 3 games and 4 goals and 3 assists, has only ever been done by Thierry Henry and Didier Drogba.
Wow. Now that is impressive.
So he's been involved in 7 goals in his first 3 games, and he's in some quite elite company there. So
yeah, he's certainly
another little milestone for our little beast.
That goal today, Dio. I mean, to me, that's an effort that just smacked of someone full of confidence. The way he didn't even hesitate at all, took the ball down. All right, it was a slight bit of fortune before that for it to fall into his path, but what a finish that was. And that is the epitome of a striker, absolutely full of beans, isn't it? That just knows he's going to hit the back of the net.
But he made his good fortune. He was there. He was harrying. He got between he bullied the defender. If he weren't there doing it, it wouldn't have come down for him, would it? And again, so that I don't know. Sometimes you have to make your own luck, and at the moment, Antonio's is doing that in abundance. But yeah, that was a net breaker. That was an absolutely superb strike, and on his supposed weaker foot as well. Just brilliant, just brilliant. Still get the heebie-jeebies when he runs, though. I am just waiting for that hamstring to go, and that's where we need somebody. We need somebody else in. We do need whether it's an out-and-out centre forward or a Jesse Lingard-esque player that can chip in with some goals. I've said last season, what a shame that Haller went, because I still dream of what he would have been like with Lingard. I think he would have been absolutely superb, because whatever you say about Haller and his immobility or whatever, he's a striker. He's a goal scorer. He's a if you want the ball to drop 5 yards in the box, would have wanted it to drop to Haller. And I think it was absolutely crazy business letting him go. Absolutely bonkers. Because with him, I think if he was on the bench today, we could have swapped that round after 60.
Yep. With
a very, very good option.
Yeah, we
and
could.
Then what? For the sake of 20 million, or whatever it was we owed on him, it's probably the worst bit of business we've done after signing Jack Wilshere.
And also what's kind of concerning is the fact that if, as David Moyes is worried about, he says he's not sure he's going to get another forward or striker over the line, and that could leave us a whole calendar year I mean, I wrote an article for KUMB earlier today where I mentioned this. You know, we sold Hilaire in January 2021. If we don't manage to replace him this summer, that's going to be a whole calendar year without a single natural. I mean, you know, Antonio is a striker for all intents and purposes these days, but he's not a natural striker. And that would see West Ham, a top flight club, going a whole calendar year without a recognised striker in the squad. It just seems incredible to me that we could even, you know, consider doing that, or the club consider doing that.
Yeah, I kind of agree on the without a recognised striker, but I think the past 3 years or so, we now have a recognised striker whose name is
agreed.
Is Mikel Antonio. Converted striker that he may be, but there's without a shadow of a doubt now. If I read anyone that puts he's just a converted winger, he's not a striker. No rollicks. He is an out and out striker now. There is no two ways about that. Yeah, we do need another out and out striker. But again, as I mentioned last week, though, who can we get that would have fit our style of play? I know people were crying out for Tammy Abrahams, but at 40 million, not for me. He's one I did watch because he was being muted last season. So, you know, a couple of times I did watch him. A £40 million striker? No, certainly not for me. And if Leon wanted to pay 40 million, good luck to him. Same as Danny Ings. To us, 25, 30 million pound striker with a year left on his contract? No. Maybe if we'd sold Declan Rice for 100 million and we had 100 million sitting in the bank, yes, just like what Aston Villa did. But Danny Ings, to me, no, he's not a 25 million pound striker either. And I think that's where the point of that David Moyes was making about, you know, the price of the players. I don't think it's, you know, that we can't afford them. I think money was being asked for players that aren't worth that sort of money. You know, you're not going to go out and pay $5,000 for a 15-year-old Fiesta kind of thing. You know, you pay what it's worth. You pay $2,500. You may need a car. If the only car's a 15-year-old Fiesta for $5,000, you're still not going to pay it, are you? You're going to tell it to shove it where the sun don't shine. And I think I'm glad that's the way we're operating, to be honest. We have wasted so much money. I'm glad that's how David Moyes is working. I'm not glad that we don't have an out-and-out striker. I do have a feeling that Jared Bowen will not just do a job. I think he's the next one that I think David Moyes can turn into a striker. He seems to have bulked up a bit. I do wish today he'd done it once when he ran into the box and he got it under his feet and then fell on the floor, probably hoping to get the penalty. It kind of we kind of missed that on commentary, but I want him to cut that out the game. He could have just bullied his way through. He's got a physique now to do that. He should have done that rather than just taking the easy option and gone down on the deck. He very much reminds me of a Craig Bellamy. He really does in the way he runs, the way he can pass a ball, and with his finishing. He just, but at the moment when he's being stuck out on the right, he's not in those central positions. Where he's going to get the opportunity to put his laces through it. I know a lot of people on the forum don't agree that he could be a striker, but he's the one in the squad I would say at the moment Moyes could do a job on and convert into a striker, and he's not going to need a lot of work because he used to play centre forward for Hull on many.
Well, exactly. I mean, he's got I mean, he's played there before, hasn't he? He's done it. So you know, but with the way it's going, it looks like that might very much be the case, that Moyes has to do that because, I mean, as you said, you know, we were talking about Antonio. We were saying international break coming up, potentially 3 games. Antonio could be playing for Jamaica if they're allowed to play. Of course, the Premier League have said at the moment that they're not going to release players to play in red list countries. We've seen Infantino, I think it was, write to Boris Johnson and ask him to look at that again to see whether we could relax the quarantine rules for players returning. So we still don't know what's going to happen there. But of course, after that, West Ham have got 7 games in 21 days. So, I mean, Antonio could be playing 10, 11 games inside a month, which is ludicrous, isn't it? For a player like that, and especially a player, as you pointed out, with hamstrings as dodgy as Mikhail's. But we will find out anyway very soon. It's all going to unveil in the next few days. The transfer window closes on Tuesday. And of course, until then, the speculation and rumour will be rife as to whom West Ham can potentially bring in ahead of the transfer window deadline, which is 11 p.m. I think, isn't it, DL, on Tuesday night?
It is. Yes, I'm up at 5 the next morning. No, I'm not. I'm up at 3:30 the next morning for a 5 o'clock start, so I won't be watching that. But towards the end of these every day, I chuck a little bombshell in.
Yeah,
I do chuck a little bombshell in. And what with there be our last game before the closure of the transfer window, it's not beyond the realms of possibility that we might have just seen the last of Declan Rice.
Ooh, there you go. Now that would be a bombshell.
It would,
especially
indeed.
if they don't replace him. I think there might be bombs going off around, the stadium.
Metaphorically speaking, I will add just because of the situation that's going on elsewhere. I'm going to do a PAI now and mention Afghanistan. So
we haven't even mentioned PAI tonight, have we? You know,
we haven't. No,
which is probably a good thing because, as we know, they're going to be, or they're telling us that they're going to be submitting a fresh bid for control of the club next week, and of course we'll report on that in due course. But I think that's just about it for today, dear. I think we've pretty much covered everything, haven't we?
Yeah, I think we have actually. Okay. I've just put the fear of God in people with the Declan Rice comment, and oh, I'm so cheeky.
Yes, you are. You are.
I like it. I've just had it out. Leave it out, DL, on the chat. Just come up from Moby Dick. Do you know what though? I really would put it past the ball to accept it.
Oh no, surely not. Surely not.
Well,
who knows?
I really
who knows?
wouldn't.
But I mean, the whole point about this Declan Rice thing, deal, is of course that their resolve hasn't been tested yet. No one's come in with that imaginary £100 million bid. And,
they haven't.
You know, would David Sullivan really turn it down if on Monday morning there's a call from Bruce, what's his face at Chelsea, to say, you know, David, we've thought about this and we've decided to, you know, give you what you want. Who knows?
Well, indeed. I mean, who have Man United got next?
I don't know. No idea. Who are they playing next? Let's
have a little look on the fixtures. This is being very, very naughty. I know.
Where are you going with this?
I know. Who have they got? Today, August fixtures. Here we go. They've got Wolverhampton Wanderers versus Manchester United tomorrow.
Right. Okay.
Now, if Wolves beat Man United with the return of the prodigal son of Ronaldo,
is he back
and
now?
We have, and they quite clearly see that there are players waltzing through their central midfield, and Solskjaer says on the listening of Rio Ferdinand, I want Declan Rice and we will be the best team in the league. We've just got Ronaldo. Go and put an £80 million bid in for Declan Rice. Where do you think that would go, Graham? I think that ball would take 80 million for him tomorrow.
I disagree. I don't think
disagree.
I don't think they'd sell him now, unless it's a stupid amount, and by stupid I mean the kind of money that that Manchester City were prepared to pay for Harry Kane. I can't see it. Because if they were to do that, what would our midfield be? It'd be Thomas Souček and Mark Noble or Connor Coventry. And I don't think, as much as you know, they don't seem to be too concerned with the view of the fan base. I think that would probably be a step too far for them. But who knows?
Well, I think that they don't know.
You think they would?
I think they would. I think that they've already laid down the groundwork with the Hugh Mouthen comments about the contract refusal and wanting to be known about bids. And I don't know if I'm reading too much into it. Okay. But he didn't look like Declan Rice out there today. And there's been moments on both halves of previous games where I wouldn't say he looks like his head's is elsewhere. Mm-hmm. But maybe his mate Jesse isn't coming. Maybe he's seeing we've got a goalkeeper and we're getting a defender. Is that it? And meanwhile, Man United have just gone and signed Ronaldo and Jordan Sancho.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's down to the player as well, isn't it? I will forsake all my bonuses, Mr. Sullivan. I will forsake my loyalty bonus. How much money would that be? That got to be a good 5-10 million, wouldn't it? That you get? I don't know. I don't know what the bonuses are. Take that off the transfer fee. Let me go, mate.
Yeah. Well, there you go. DL's just dropped that big bombshell in just to send you off to sleep nicely tonight.
It's something to talk about, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's something to talk about.
Let us know what you think. Is Dio on to something? Join us on the KUMB.com forum summer transfer thread. It's always busy. It's as busy as it's ever been this year. Come on there. Let us know your thoughts. We will, of course, let you know on there, and of course via the homepage on KUMB.com as soon as any transfers are made or any bid for, God forbid, Declan Rice coming between now and Tuesday. Yeah. I think we've pretty much covered everything today. We do, of course, hope that there'll be a couple of signings coming in for West Ham. Well, we hope there'll be a couple, assuming Kurt Zuma is done. And of course, that's a very big assumption until we see the picture of him holding up the shirt and trying and failing to say, "Come on, you irons," on the club's website. But we need more. It's not going to be enough. So it's going to be a very, very busy next 2 or 3 days, hopefully, for David Moyes and David Sullivan, who we hope is using that hotline at Sullivan Towers to get on the phone and try his best to bring some more players in before the window. DL, final word on today.
A little bit disappointing.
Is that it?
Yeah, lackluster, tired, overconfident. I think that'll do. I'm hungry. I want some dinner.
I'm with you. Totally with you. That's it from today. There you go. Disappointing. West Ham United 2, Crystal Palace 2. The Hammers led twice, pegged back twice by Palace. And a young lad from Chelsea on loan who was absolutely magnificent for the visitors today, to be fair, young Gallagher.
He was.
Palace really should have won the game. Could have won it. Had a great chance in the final minute of added on time. Benteke heading over the bar when marked in the 6-yard box should really have scored. But West Ham lived to fight another day anyway. And of course, we can sit there and complain and say we should have won and we felt that we didn't play today. But look at the Premier League table. It's over there. You can't see it, but it's kind of over there for me. There's a team called West Ham, top of the pile. 7 points from 3 games with 10 goals scored. Could be a lot worse, couldn't it, really?
It could indeed.
Well, from me and Dio, anyway, that's it from today. Thank you all for your company on the stream. Thoroughly enjoyed, as always, you sending your comments over. Give us a like and subscribe if you've enjoyed what you've seen. We'll be back again with you very soon for West Ham v Southampton, if not before. Until then,
up the irons.